Shoot! Get back, everybody! Welcome back, baby dolls. We have a live hostage situation on PulseChain. Today we're going to go through some crypto altcoins, macro stuff. I've done an emergency stream, friends. I didn't want to do this, but I just felt compelled by the action actually happening right now. So one of HEX's absolute largest whales is this guy, Conrad Zen. Now, I made a nickname, C-U-M-R-A-G, Zen, but by the grace of all your friendship, a lot of you have asked, please, Tommy, no, don't stoop to that level. Okay, what do you mean stoop to that level? You understand we're offside for 5 years? I don't think we could possibly get any lower. Actually, that's what we said 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago, and then last year, and then 3 months ago. We can't possibly get any lower. Yes, we can. Welcome back, baby dolls. We have everybody in the chatteroonies. Mr. Docsbet, well done, sir. You are now also a moderator. I do appreciate every single one of you. Mr. Salty Dog, pDAI to T-bill to Fed ratio 1-1-1. That is the Maria Atropa friendship. And sir, what are you doing here without a moderator status? I'm sharing all the friendship. Mr. Perpetual Bitcoin, I like you, sir. You know, you've been trying to get my attention for a while. You have Perpetual Bitcoin. Good luck, sir. I really, really hope that your bag's pumping to the heavens. So we do have a live hostage situation, friends, out here. Conrad Zen, he's in the nursing home and he's asking all the hot grandmas, take off all your panties. It's been 30 long years since I've had any action. I'm not going out dying a virgin again. Okay, so Conrad Zen, friends, has a lot of HEX. Now, I saw PulseChain Giga. A lot of you asked, Sommi, how do we even know that it's him? Friends, I don't watch wallets, you know what I mean? The only thing I watch is pretty much myself in the mirror. I want to come out of the bathroom and make sure I'm dry. That's it, okay? The 2021 year of the bull market had a lot of fantastical people participating. PulseChain Giga, I saw him reply. He said, there was a message, I think by Conrad Zen. He said something in a Telegram. He said something like, I've just sold $50,000 worth of HEX. And then I think he correlated that, they correlated that to this wallet, and it's linked to all these big uber amounts of wallets. So that it matched exactly the 50,000 HEX. I don't have the exact portfolio picture, but I think all the wallets connected, it's a lot of HEX, friends. It's 980 million pHEX. And you know, friends, a lot of people say, hey, how did you get it? How did you get it? Look, friends, the guy's got me blocked, okay? Because of, look, I don't want to talk about this stupid coin, which I've actually got the I don't want to talk about this stupid coin, not worth talking about, okay? That's why he's blocked me. He called for me to go to jail and everything else. It's kind of funny. Now he's doing a hostage situation with Richard Hart. Are you listening yet, Richard Hart? Are you listening? Oh, dump it. Yeah, don't make me dump it. Friends, you understand how nonsensical it is? Friends, I want you to imagine Bitcoin dropped to $500, right? And then Michael Saylor goes on stage and he says, hey, if you keep teasing me on Twitter, I'll sell the 800,000 Bitcoin at market. You know, like, bro, sell it. You're giving it away for free, dude. You're threatening to sell it here. Sell it. Click sell. I'd like some, please. So there's no threat here. You understand? You're giving it away for peanuts. Dr. Pegger, listening to what? If you're trying to make a point by dumping and you think Richard gives an F about that, you are confused. As you get to see, friends, thin liquidity is actually useful during these times. It's painful for us, but now he's trapped. You know, he would love thin liquidity, wouldn't he? You know, friends, if Richard or somebody else put a, say, $10 million bid, okay, he'll hit all of it in one go. He's out. I'm not even exaggerating. He'll literally hit all of it in one go, walk out. It's like, oh, well, I'll take the 10 million. I'm done. Okay, that's why you don't put 10 million in there. You leave 280,000. Yep. So the pressure and the time, it compounds. Yes, over the months that play out. So what I'll do is I'll show you the HEX price chart, friends. This is it. Okay, it's down 97%, 98% since Trump euphoria, where this only went to literally 3 cents. This is the combined HEX price. It is down 99.79% from the all-time high. At the top, friends, he had literally billions of dollars. Billions. I did not know that was actually him. There's literally a lot, right? And he never sold, which is, you know, everyone believed it. Everyone just thought, hey, I'm on an asset. Like, you know, NVIDIA, friends. I just want to show you, man, it's kind of wild, right? Just let me show you, like, this is what's gone through everyone's mind. First, you have the NASDAQ, which is melting upwards. But, you know, of course, I'm listing a unicorn. But this is what everyone thought was going to happen, where your thing goes up. And friends, look at this. This is a space of 2 years. You get it? So this is 1 year. That's 2 years. Yeah, this is 2 years and 3 months. Everyone in crypto thought crypto would, like, distribute. Worst case. But it didn't. If you actually look at, say, if I can find the HEX chart, I think this is very important, just so everyone knows. Unfortunately, crypto, right, when it tops out, you can see HEX on a linear chart. So you're euphoric, right? And friends, look, I'm not even joking. Literally 56 days later, you're down 70%. Less than 2 months. You blink, you're down 70%. So if you had $1 million redoonies, 56 days later, boom, you only have 300,000. What do you do next? You go, wait a minute, where did that 700,000 go? See, everyone in crypto, they hope that, I want to show you what 2 years would look like, friends. This is 2021. This is what we thought altcoins would do because I have infinite money printing. So here it is. This is 1 year. This is 2 years. You see that? So everyone thought it was going to do stuff like this, and everyone distributes. And there's a dip. That's what everyone thought it would do, just like NVIDIA. Instead, it goes down 99%. Okay, literally everything in crypto has done that. So I'm explaining to you just how we got into this situation. Now, everybody in crypto has PTSD of that exact moment. That's why I'm very confident. I don't have much confidence in anything, but I am very confident that because we have a gargantuan amount of PTSD, what will happen now is, this is the others versus gold ratio. This is others to gold, right? Against real money. Altcoin, this thing about altcoins priced in real money, right? Think about it. I believe this thing will go up only. Okay, and you're gonna have, friends, I can see it. Okay, as much I can see this. This is really, really clear to me. Really clear. Okay, as we go up, you will have most of the crypto influencers are gonna say these things are too high. Here. Okay. As they go up, you know, you're from Ivan, Ben Copens, your Huddle Shark Sheet, your Larson, Huddle Shark, everyone else, all the scumbags on Twitter who didn't tell you to long XRP or Tron, and all they know how to do is top shill Hyperliquid. That's literally the only thing they know how to do. Oh, and by the way, they know how to top shill Zcash only after it went up 18x. Oh, and they only know how to top shill Solana after it's $250. Yeah. So brave of you, right? Those people will be saying it's all too high. Okay, but then, friends, there will be. I can feel this. Okay, feel this fluffy microphone. I know this is coming. Okay, I know it. I can see it already. When we get here, all right, you will have, you know, all the stock market boomers. Your Jason Shapiros, all the macro guys, your Jim Biancos, you know, all the Doomer guys, that Mike McBone, right? The Bloomberg guy calling for 10K BTC. All of those guys, friends, I could go on and on. All the macro, the boom. You look at them, you start yawning. You know what I mean? It's all the guys that, you know, like the Twink brothers, the Twink Daily. They always put like an MSNBC. You know, the guy who goes on the MSNBC, like, hey, here are the fundamentals of the cash flow on the balance sheet. Those guys who are just dinosaurs, they will come out ferociously saying crypto has no value. It's overvalued. It's overvalued. It's overvalued. Okay. And at that moment, that's when you'll know. You come back to me and you'll say, Sommi, it's happening. And I'll say, good. And you ask me, what's next? Well, what's next is we're eventually going to chop it out. And it's going to break to the upside. Okay? And that will be the actual mania. Now, I don't know about the timing of this, but I can only see this. See, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. It's because, like, we're so low. Okay? It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So that's contextually where we are. So you're like, it's like, oh, yeah, we go up only. Yeah, but even if you go up only to the US, by the way, this vertical line is the US presidential election. I just want you to look at what happened, okay? We waited, literally, friends, this would be a 7-year wasted time round trip. That's why I've been telling you, friends, it's very, very, very important to DCA buy, even $10 unis every week, okay? Or every day if you can. Very important, because things are so low here that you don't even need them to break the high, okay? Like, friends, you know, like HEX, for example, HEX, combined HEX is 450x back to 55 cents, right? Let's say it only gets back a third of that distance. That's 150x of your $10. That is $1,500 every $10 hit. 1,500. And it didn't even go back to the all-time high. It's still a failure. So that's why I'm not telling you to touch HEX. I'm not telling you to touch anything. Don't even touch yourself, all right? Just telling you it's very important to get Spoony out and just throw something in. Just throw something in, okay? So back to the hostage situation. Stay away, I'll shoot! I'll shoot you all! Okay, this is literally Conrad Zen coming out here. Are you listening, Richard Hart? Kingsman, funny, I seen your name on a building the other day. Here is Brandon B, resident crybaby. He's just a con man interested in max extracting from his community. It's over. The irony of Brandon Bitch Tits replying to literally the guy keeping the price down with a billion HEX, calling Richard the con man, whilst Richard is protecting the community by leaving the SAC treasury nowhere near the bid. So this guy has to scramble for pennies instead of robbing the treasury. Wouldn't be robbing, it'd just be like swindling the treasury, okay? It's just interesting the mind frame of that. But when you have a confirmation bias, okay, that's what happens. Friends, I'm not here to defend Richard, okay? I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm just telling you, if you were the CEO of a company, okay, and one guy was trying to leave, would you leave all the company money in the vault and give the guy the key? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. Exactly. You'd probably take it out of the vault and go put it in the bank. Okay? If you leave money in the liquidity pool, so it's thick, that guy can just swipe it at any time. Unless, is there another way? Some people say do OTC. No, dude, don't contact the guy. Don't contact him. Okay, just let him run out. See, look, fans, he's running out of time. You're listening, Net Richard Hart. Check out some replies here. Hexalina, Advanced Magatry, Deep Retardation, Reptile Hybrid, Conrad Von Orton. I was drugged and left for decked in Hexico, and all I got was his stupid shirt. Brat, what's up? BitConnect, jump already. So he's talking about the jump. Dump it, dump it. Basbestos, friend of the channel. You haven't got the effing balls to dump it. Dan Emmons, I don't know if he's a friend of the channel. Is he? Yeah, he is. Friends, who is Dan? I always see you guys always quote him. Is he, did you guys make a meme of him like in 2019 or 2020? I guess it was before my time. You guys like still talk about him like he's a relevant meme, like a trader guy. I think he had mental health issues. I'm not sure. Oh man, this is gold. September. Get him, old man. Oh yeah? I don't need that. I got different. Get him. Please, friends, I want you to imagine the scenario of Michael Saylor going on stage. Bitcoin's down to $500 and he's saying, I'll sell it. I'll sell it. Okay, that's exactly what it is pretty much happening. Hexy G, what's your plan? Dump the remaining 900 million at all-time lows only for them to be bought back immediately by everyone waiting for you to sell? And somehow that's sending a message to RH. Friends, I want you to like just be honest with yourself, okay? You've been waiting for nipple pegs. I know, I have too. We're gone more than 10 minutes without some nipple pegs. POP, a lot of you demanding proof of pegging. Not a single one of these issues ever comes from pDAI. Have you noticed? Have you noticed? Suck on that, by the way. Okay, the pegs are too powerful. They keep falling off. Okay, not a single one of these issues comes from pDAI community. The stupid coin we're not going to talk about. Okay, and the stupid coin whose logo you will not be looking at. Do not look at this logo. Forget this. Forget this logo. Forget it. It always comes from the core coin, guys. Now, friends, of course, to be honest, friends, 98% of the core coin believers, you guys are cool. It's fine. It's just, I'll just be honest, man. I just want to show everyone, right? Richard just made you too rich too fast. And it's not his fault or anyone's fault. It was just the crypto cycle, man. So friends, I just want to show you, like, you need to get an appreciation. You know, in a lot of you guys in pDAI, some of you with experience, a very rare amount of yous. Some of you DM me and talked about it, and you said, Sommi, I'm really scared because I'm seeing a couple of people who think they're going to get rich. And we know, like in crypto, when people start talking like that, it's game over and you're the exit liquidity and it's finished. And I said, dude, I totally agree. I agree. Be schizo. You know, we see literally a bunch of people who are eating ramen noodles, living in a cardboard box, saying, I'm going to be rich soon. Okay. Doesn't sound right? Sounds like you're about to be a scam victim, honestly. But pDAI, the stupid coin not worth talking about, going up, it still doesn't hold the flame to what Richard did in HEX. Let me show you. Did you know, friends, if you go back to you go back here, this was here's funny, if you're in pDAI, you know, friends, this was their biggest FUD event. This was the big payday. So HEX went down 85%, 84%. Why? If you staked one day before this big payday event, you got 30% of coins supply increase. It's kind of funny. You're listening in pDAI. You're like, wait a minute. You're telling me they only had to sit through an 84% drop and they got 30% more coins? Worst case. Yeah, it was just a different time. That was called FUD back then. So what actually happened, friends, you know, around here, right there. Okay, so this is around November 2020. Conrad Zen had, Conrad Zen friend had $10 million here. All right, 10 million worth of X. Gunther had 1 million. Rectum Rochelle had about 2 million, 1 to 2 million. I'm trying to think of all the names. Other big names, I don't know exactly the quantity of them. HEX Kareem, I think he had 1.2 million. So friends, you're already, friends, you're in the Bitcoin halving year. These guys, they're sitting on 1 million and they're not even selling. All right. You got to think about, there's Matty Allen, there's Dr. Hexologist, there's Captain RG3, there's all these other characters who are there. I don't know the quantities or anything, but I'm just giving you the big ones. There's that guy, Wallet DO7, the Ranger, the redhead dude, the pasty redhead dude. He had, I think, 1.5 million at this point, okay? Fire Whale as well. I think, friends, Fire Whale must have had about 1 million. So you got to think about this. All these guys, they are here for WarLord Richard. Yeah, WarLord Richard coming out. And they're watching him on stream. And they're holding $1 million of it. Now, I want you to just teleport with me to November 2020. Just 10 months later, okay, look at this. Look at this. Friends, from here, they have $1 million. 10 months later, they have 100 million. And I'm not even exaggerating. They literally had 100 million. From November 2020 to September. And there was no shakeout. Look at the shakeouts, dude. Friends, would you call this a shakeout? Honestly, would you call a 33% drop a shakeout? What about this was the PulseChain, oh no, this is May, this is the September. Would you call a 56% drop a shakeout? What about 30%? What about 47%? This is PulseChain SAC. Friends, this is child's play, okay? And you're going to get some pumpy G music. Stay away, I'll shoot. Stay away! Can you believe it? All of them. By the way, there are more people. There's like Funding Jim Gary. I'm trying to remember the names of just people that we physically know. There's all these people on the list on like, I guess the wallet addresses that Gunther knew, or their addresses that like we just don't even know their names, you know? That's insane, dude. They go from $1 million, 10 months later, they all have 100 million. Boom. That's wild, right? And they held, you know? You know, at the top right here, Mrs. Silvertooth had $1 million, you know? So that's crazy. That's why you see everybody talking in pDAI, right? Stupid coin not worth talking about. They're thinking about, oh, we're going to get rich, going to get rich. Like, the numbers they're talking about, guys, you are still nowhere near what happened in 2021. Can you believe it? Yeah. Because right now, man, there's people in here saying, whoa, I'll have $4 million at the top. Dude, do you understand? Before the game even started for the bull run of 2021, people were already halfway there. They were already 25 to 50% of the way there. And Ethereum, by that point, it was only $280. That's bonkers, dude. That's crazy. Bitcoin was about, at that time, 10,000. So Bitcoin's 10K. Ethereum is $280. these guys already had 1 million to 2 million. The run hasn't even started yet. That's crazy. And now we have pDAI guys saying like, oh, if we have a monstrously high amount of liquidity that comes in from, who knows, maybe Brandon B's Pokemon profits, pDAI will go 567x and you will have your amazing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 million dollars. That's crazy, man. That's still 25x lower than the power of 2021. And the power of 2021, it was wild because this is just HEX as well. So it's bonkers, right? So I'm going to just thank some baby dolls in the chat and then we'll continue. Friends, Mr. Snowcraft, $5 redoonies. Thank you, Mr. Snowcraft. Conrad Zen will dump his 900 million P HEX and we'll be scooping it up. You and me. You're going to get a lovey love heart as well. Sif Iran with $1 redoonie. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. $5 redoonies with a $1 redoonie and it is pillared by 2 spoons. Thank you so much. Mr. Art Suave, thank you for the mod status, Sommi. Tell me what hater you want deleted. I will slap the soy out of him. I appreciate it, sirs. You guys are... Yeah, we don't attract any haters here because it's fun. Look, friends, this is the difference, right? From my perspective, because I'm here now, I watch how does like Raoul Pal, how does he handle people just saying negative stuff? How does any other influencer handle it? I do something different. So what they do, there's only 2 things that they do. All right? 2 things that they do. Raoul Pal just fully ignores it. He fully ignores because he's a nice guy. He's a soft guy. He fully ignores them. He doesn't reply to them at all. The other influencers, what they do is they go, you know what? Hodling sucks. Yes. What they're doing is they're fishing their audience. Like, oh, what's that? Hodling sucks. Okay, I will give you the free market. I will provide for you a product and service that you want. Here, buy this dog shit indicator, which is not going to give you an edge. Here, join this private trading group, which is not going to make you $1 million in a year. Here, hodling sucks. That's what they'll do. Okay, there's 2 different approaches to that, you know? So Raoul Pal sticking to his guns. He just ignores everyone. And then the crowd keeps berating him for it. They go, just admit you're wrong. Flop your banana out. It's not a banana zone. It's more like a soft slug. Ah! That's what they're all yelling out, all right? And then you have the other crypto influencers saying, I called it. Look on the chart. Look on the chart over here. I called the down move. Oh, follow me. $2,500. Right? Here comes me saying, look, it's still a buyer's market. $10 redoonies is coming right in, baby. It's funny because no one's doing it. Literally not a single person's DCA buying altcoins. Not one. Not one. Continuing now, friends. Mr. Alien Master replied to Condom Zen. Are you expecting Richard Hart to be your exit liquidity? I can fully guarantee you RH won't inject a single dime into this ecosystem until you are fully out. So dress up, warm, sunshine, and get to work selling. Okay? Crypto lover, hey, Conrad, my take is that you're trying to say, Richard, get your poop together and you will restake your HEX long-term and stay in PulseChain. Otherwise, you're out. Is that a good take? So you can see everyone out here coming out. The hostage situation. So yeah, I have made a post here. Thank you to my friend, Mr. Poopin. Mr. Poopin said, guys, Conrad dumped part of his Ethereum bag on its all-time low in the 2017 cycle. Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that. Okay, look, friends. Of course, like we don't care at this point. If pDAI people think he's an insider, and everyone else is looking at, oh no, what's happening, right? It's getting hard to defend from everyone, but there really is a call for angel music. There's nothing to really defend. You just look. You just get to see, friends. You get to see these first cycle hexagons. Look, honestly, it's not their fault, dude. Like, you had no precedent. There used to be a 4-year cycle. Altcoins go up. They didn't go up this time. And that was a never before happening event. Never, you know? So, friends, you got to think about this. You know, Michael Chad Saylor, he was doing leverage Bitcoin in 2022. He was still accumulating BTC. You know, friends, in an alternative world, a parallel universe, right? Altcoins went up, Bitcoin stayed down. And Michael Saylor got mogged, right? It's just we didn't get that scenario. We got the scenario where you and I got mogged. Michael Saylor wins. But now Michael Saylor's got we would say, I guess, too much confidence. Okay, so in our scenario, a lot of the hexagons, man, I really find it's such an unfortunate situation because it's never been done before, But look, everyone on the sidelines, what they'll say is they go, oh, look at, of course that was going to happen. Look at Eric Wall's essay, the inflation and everything is getting destroyed. Okay, so this is what separates me, I guess, from another soy boy. Okay, hanging around out there. When they hear this, okay, they get an emotional trigger. They'll say, oh, look at that. That person's right. You're wrong, because they see everything like a retailer. Right, wrong, black, white. That's how they see the game. They see it like, oh, who do I follow? Who do I follow? You're good, you're bad, you're up, you're down. That's how they see it. They see it. The game's not like that, okay? The game is not like binary and fixed like that, okay? It's literally a game of positioning and expectations. It's literally a game. It's kind of like saying, hey, we're going to play basketball and you have to tell your coach what's going to happen before you even play the game. You can't go tell the coach, hey, coach, I'm always going to go onto the left side of the court. Only the left. That makes no sense. You're like, hey, no, I'm telling you to play the game. Play the game. You can't always go to the left. What if he's going to the right? You're just going to run to the left side of the court and you're just going to let him go to the right and score? See how silly that sounds? So that's the same thing with markets. Capital is rotating in and out. And this is another mistake people make. People think everyone's stupid, but they're not. They're not stupid, okay? The market people are always reacting to information in the marketplace. So that's why if you can understand what's going through their mind and how they might position ahead, you can make a lot of money, okay? Because you can correctly identify that people are making emotional decisions in one place, probably because of confirmation bias or recency bias, such as SpaceX, Elon Musk, AI stocks, potatoes, everything rallying. And they see Hyperliquid and they go, oh, Hyperliquid makes money, therefore all the altcoins are worth zero. But then you sit here rationally and go, okay, if revenue is what you needed for a coin to go up, explain Bitcoin. Explain Bitcoin. Where's its revenue? They go, oh, no, Bitcoin's special. Okay. Explain gold. Does gold make any revenue? They go, oh, no, but gold's useful for something. Are you using gold, by the way? No, you're not. Do you know gold's utility value is only 10% of its market cap? So gold's got 35 trillion market cap, maybe 30 now. Only 3 trillion is the actual base value. So your gold, to actually melt it and actually use it for something, if you have an ounce of gold for $4,000, you can only use it for about $400 worth. So what's the other 3,600, 90% of the value? It's just monetary Ponzi premium. Store value, you see? I'm going to give you many examples like this, but that's tapping into the logic part of the market. And when people aren't thinking with logic now, they're thinking with emotion, as in crypto's been going down for too many years. We make no revenue here. Look at AI, look at SpaceX. Go, bro, SpaceX is trading its IPO at 100 times sales. So it's like extremely overvalued, but that's where you get to see that people, they're just talking fluff. Okay. So you can see, friends, one of the largest hex whales here threatening Richard Hart on Twitter. Is this just part of one of these mech narratives that we have to go through? We'll crank it a bit and drink some water. So the market, right? How's the market positioned? Well, you can now see, right, if there is an upwards move in crypto, just run out of sellers, you can see how it's all formed, and we were all part of it. So Conrad Zen, just one story of many stories. This is the combined hex is down 99.79%. We'll cover more other stuff as well, friends. So the whole PulseChain ecosystem obviously has been going down with it because of the bonding, but also because of everything else. Here is pDAI. I put this fun little fractal, which just goes sideways and up and to the right forever, but only lands at like 0.5 cents in a year from now. So it's funny. So hopefully we didn't get that. We wanted to go up faster. But you really get an idea, right? If you're in pDAI, now you understand, because I've shown it to you, right? Obviously, no one told me this. It's just, all I do is I pretend I'm Richard Hart, who lived through HEX first cycle, who actually pumped the price and inserted money and made everybody rich. And I'm trying to observe, okay, what happened then? So everyone had riches, okay? And then they didn't. And then the price went down. And so you got to think, hey, how does Richard react to that? What is he thinking? What would you think? You made all these people rich. They crown you king. And then it starts going down and down and down and down. And one by one, they leave and leave and leave. Okay. And then you have the Eric Wall essays coming out where Eric Wall says he feels sorry for the Hexicans because Hex was flawed from the start because the inflation was too high. Okay. And then you have Brandon Bitch Tits coming out saying, con man, gone. And then you have Richard trying to save the price by like cutting the inflation, or OA addresses moving, also leaving the liquidity thing. So now Richard's being held hostage. What does he do? Does he walk away? Well, you know, other people might walk away, but they can see, say, Conrad Zen coming out threatening to dump. So if you look at all the actions here, it's not actions of someone who's like walking away. It's actions of someone pretty much living through this HEX first cycle where you can only conclude it just pumped up too fast, you know? And that was just a product of the cycle, right? So now you got to think about, okay, round 2. Imagine that. You had a cycle. You thought 50% dips were enough to shake people out. That's what you thought. Clearly they weren't, all right? You had guys who had $1 million and then a year later they have 100 million. Yep. And you know, like friends, you know, Gunther, after it dropped down 99%, I think he emergency ended everything and he just sold everything and left, I think. So he walked back out with $1 million. He went from $1 million, 100 million, comes back to $1 million, gets out. And I think actually he got out, he would have had like only maybe 100K. I think it dropped another 90%. So I'm just showing you what would happen. And they all just leave, right? But now I want you to think about if you are in round 2, friends. Round 2. Are we looking at round 2? So if you just saw a 50% drop wasn't enough to shake people out, wouldn't it make sense for you to drop at 99.93? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't you do that? You go, oh, damn, 50 wasn't enough. I think I got to go the full Monty. All right. And then you go, oh, wait a minute. You did it once. Okay, what if I did it just another time? 99.79%. Here is another one. Boom. Wouldn't you do that? Makes sense, you know? You don't see it in hindsight because I'm watching this play out in real time and I don't have all the answers. And what's actually funny is the people who went through HEX first cycle, you understand, friends, they have their mind is calcified. They refuse to open. Because here I am saying, effectively, if you read between my lines, I'm basically saying, hey, you fluked it, you got lucky, you're ungrateful, and what you did actually wasn't that special. You didn't actually do anything. You really got lucky. That's what they're hearing from my mouth when I talk. Because effectively, they did, bro. You went from $1 million, 10 months later, it's 100 million, and Richard Hart times it perfectly, and there you go. Okay, what did you do? Yeah, that's why, friends, if you notice over time, you know, when PulseChain first launched, everything was going bad. And then Hexicans, they'd come out and they'd be like, all of you thought you were going to get rich in 3 months. No, 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 no. You're going to have to wait a full year after PulseChain launch. Then we'll do the 100x. Okay. Let me show you the price chart. So they all said that on the launch. And then here is a year later. Okay. And they go, oh, now it's time to go. And then you add another year. Now you're down again. You add another year and we're massively down again. So from the moment when they thought we were going to be pumping 100x, we've dropped 90%. And you've wasted an extra 2 years. Friends, you understand how much that kills people? When you think you're going to be moving up, but that is the beginning of the end, where you slide 90% lower over the next 24 months. That's 750 days of pain and agony. And by the way, it's still making lower lows. So we haven't even stopped yet. It could be going 1,000 a day, 2,000 a day, who knows, right? That's what kills them. But round 2, friends, that's what we're here to talk about. After going through this, isn't it amazing? You can see, friends, you can see Condom Zen, right? Condom Zen, that's why you can actually see it's blocked. It's blocked here. I am muted. Sorry, I'm blocked. Isn't it funny that they went through it, man? They literally went through it. They saw it, and then they're like, no, you know what you're talking about. Because how do you think they got there? Conrad Zen, friends, he put 100 Bitcoin value into the ICO-ish for HEX. Do you understand the insanity of that decision? Like, I just want to show you, friends, like you literally have, this is funny, you literally have this guy, all right, this guy who claims to be a Bitcoin maxi. Now he's got an altcoin. Every altcoin goes to zero. And he said it's designed to do a 10,000x. And you're like, what was that? The guy with zero credibility launching an altcoin, here's 100 Bitcoin. It's just, you're a nutcase, man. You're an actual nutcase. That's how he ended up with that much. All right. But it was fair play. That's the thing as well. He didn't cheat. He didn't cheat. He literally just believed. Okay. Which is crazy because look how it ends. It ends with him going, stay away, I'll shoot you, I'll shoot. Are you listening, Richard? Are you listening yet? Oh, man. I can't help but wonder, friends, do you think we're still paying a punishment from God for this? Friends, I have to show this to you, okay? This was the HEX Coffin Dance. So you want to know why does the entire crypto industry hate HEX and Richard Hart with a passion? It's this. Just for a lot of you in pDAI, you don't know this. You have to know this. You ever wonder why, like, how come, like, you know, pDAI, some of you are still confused. They're like, I don't get it. Why do people hate Richard Hart? I'll show you why, dude. Because I know this is 5 years ago. Geez, 5 years ago. No one's ever going to forget this, okay? Just so you never, ever do it again. They hired a funeral home. Okay, so HEX went up so high. See all these guys with $100 million and $50 million and $30 million, you know, from all the stakes. It went up so high, they hired a room. They dressed it up like a funeral. They got a coffin. And they printed out large funeral pictures of influencers. So, friends, you can see here's Box Mining, here's Crypto Lark, here's, what's his face, Tone Gaze. They left his monobrow. Here's Eric Wall. And they danced on the coffin. They danced on the coffin. You know what, friends? I'm already feeling the skulls. We're gonna get some angel music. I'm gonna have to light a candle already because, you know, just me uttering those words. I just want to. We're still paying for the sins, by the way. You know, it's kind of sucky because, like, you're probably here. You're like, but I didn't make the $100 million. I know. You know, that's just how it happens, right? Adam and Eve, friends. You know, Eve ate from the apple. Damn it, Eve! You should have played with the Game Boy instead. Now you've cursed us all for eternity. So we still light the candle, friends, for all friendship and protection. So you gotta understand, friend, that's why, dude. This is like, they won't forget that. That's why some of you, one of you baby dolls asked, like, Sommi, how come Eric has like this irrational, I forgot what word to use, like this irrational, unexplainable hatred for like HEX and Richard Hart? And then that I want, like, if you're watching now, this baby doll, this is why, dude. Okay, what would you think about a community who, you said the token's inflationary and it's going to zero and it keeps pumping and pumping and pumping? So first you miss it, so you could have got rich off the retardios, and then to celebrate, they print a life-size picture of you and hold a funeral for you. And they actually made a song, the Furu's eulogy out here. Man, it's wild. So it's also, friends, it's also kind of, I think all of them are pDAI haters as well. It's just a different time, dude. This is, yeah, man. Like, you know, Bitcoin maxis have fun staying poor, laser eyes. These guys dance on coffins. Okay, so, and by the way, TradingView doesn't even show the full price anymore. Drops to 99.46%. So that's why, friends, remember I told you markets are not static. I want you to think about, if you were doing round 2, what type of things would you tweak now? Just think about it. You know, you're like, well, I don't know if I want a 30% dip for these chumps. How about I just go full 100%, right? And how about I don't promise them anything, you know? How about I actually FUD the coin myself, you know? Isn't it wild? Some of you, it's actually crazy. Some of you message me, you go, Sommi, stop telling them, stop it. And I'm like, dude, no, bro, I've been saying this for 2 years. They're not listening. They'll never listen. They don't get it. They're just built differently. You are watching me. Look at my hat. My hat literally says heard him for a squirtin'. And I talk about a lot of coins and a lot of stuff, okay? They didn't come for that. They came for, I'm here for the cult. I'm here. Here's Richard. He streams. He has all the answers. If he says something's a scam, it's a scam. If he says don't touch this thing, don't touch it. If he says HEX is going to outperform Bitcoin or HEX is going to outperform gold, that's it. Undeniable. Okay, that's what they came for. It's very rigid. It's Old Testament, you know. You know, friends, Old Testament, God comes down because everybody's doing too much Baal pagan worship. So God comes out, gives you the 10 commandments. He goes, listen, humans, you're screwing up. Write this down. You actually have to follow these rules first, right? And part of it's like, hey, you got to get yourself circumcised now. You got to chop your willy off when you're a bear. And that's the covenant with God. And you can't work on Saturdays either. Not even your Game Boys. Where is it? Where is it? You say that? Not allowed on Saturdays. You get me? Not even playing checkers. So that's how Old Testament started. Then you can see a progression. As people kept doing the acts of that, that's Judaism, right? They're like, okay, get yourself circumcised. Don't work on Saturdays. Not even the Game Boy. Okay, we got it and get it. But then actually what ends up happening is there's like an evolution. Okay, there comes Jesus in the Bible, New Testament. Okay, where Jesus kind of like teaches them, and this is also St. Paul the writing. So it evolves. It goes, hey. Now you're evolving really spiritually. Now you can't just do actions and think, okay, I'm sweet. That doesn't count. Okay, it doesn't count anymore. So for example, just because you don't work on Saturdays and get yourself circumcised doesn't mean you're a good person. It doesn't actually mean that. Okay, you've actually got to do other stuff. It's kind of funny, like the answer is you just got to have faith. It's literally it. So you don't have to do anything. Okay. So I just want you to see. So there's no right or wrong. It's a story of progression. Okay. Now you couldn't come and bring Jesus at the start of the Bible because people haven't. There's nothing to like go off. There's no fundamental basis, right? Just like with crypto, just like with HEX. Richard could not have started HEX doing what he's doing now. No way. It wouldn't have worked, okay? So it's just a product of its time, okay? So that's why, friends, people are obviously, when you see this story play out, again, obviously it's never been done before. I'm just here dictating it and narrating it because I'm just observing it with you, right? You can see how there's a different split of personalities. There's people who just don't want to shift to this whole, what's going on in the blockchain? No one knows that. That's why, friends, you ever wonder, all the PulseChain guys, none of them check the blockchain. All they check the blockchain for is to wallet watch and front run people. That's it. They don't check anything else going on. Hey, what's going on with the PulseChain layer 2s? What's LibertySwap doing? That's weird. How come the PulseChain devs tested the Curve stablecoin swap at the end of 2023 and then they disappeared for 2 years, and then LibertySwap is now launching a Curve stable swap, which is out, I think. So they never connect that. They're like, no, that means nothing. Because they came for HEX Cycle 1, where it means close your eyes to everything, just watch Richard's tweets. He is the public notice board. Do you understand that? So that's good if it's directed for the good stuff, but not good if you have to think about other things, because the world's full of grays, friends. You understand? So it's very dynamic, and you actually see now the new people in pDAI, no one needs their hand held at all, and everyone understands they're full nutcases. I will now catch up on the comment section. Andy Pandy, sir, I love your name. 10 frickin' dollars frickin' journeys. Buy a tube of grease for your chair. I'll buy a tube of grease just to go to the squeaky chair maker and say, please, sir, I need more squeak in this chair. Mr. Stefan, friends, remember, no comment left behind. Stefan says, I feel like Conrad Zen is just another part of the grand plan. It could be. Friendship confirmed from Omar. You are going to become a moderator, sir, because you are a spoony wilder. I appreciate you. Here we go. Benchwarmer. I watched Conrad videos in 2022, and he struck me as a functioning alcoholic. Really? Well, yeah. You know, friends, Conrad Zen, he actually has a private jet, I think, or he flies jets, and it's just a different time, dude. It's just, yeah. A billion HEX. How about that? Benchwarmer. Dude would chug whiskey like it was water. Interesting. Anonymous. Sommi, please look up Dogecoin ETH and tell us your thoughts. You know, sir, the Doge ETH. Okay, so Doge BTC, friends, is okay. Look, you know, if I had, okay, imagine I walked into a building. Okay, I walked into a building and I've got to go to the 5th floor, and there's a bunch of these VC dudes. They got the suits, they got a presentation, and they've got that like long oval board, and then there's one girl in the room. She makes the coffee and she's like writing the notes, okay? And they don't even read the notes, okay? And they ask me, they go, hey, nice hat. Thank you. And they'll say, hey, in very simple, succinct words, tell us why the hell you are long altcoins. Tell us, okay? Keep it simple. I don't want 5-hour speech. Just give it simple, okay? And I will say, look at this chart. Doge BTC. Okay, that's why. All right. Doge BTC is a calling from the heavens. All right. Dogecoin, isn't it funny, fans? Dogecoin is the only miracle of crypto where you can actually hold the mirror up to Bitcoin maxis and say, you are wrong. Yes, you are actually wrong. All right. Bitcoin's not the hardest form of money in the world. It's actually Doge. Doge has made a higher low against Bitcoin over its lifetime. Okay, so this is what it did. It actually broke the channel, and now here it is now. Okay, here it is now. Now, hopefully, it eventually does go up again. But the fact that a useless, no smart contracts, no adoption, trash, developer sold, abandoned coin with a dog logo, the fact that of all the things in the world, it is the weapon to humble Bitcoiners, Bitcoin maxis, it's a miracle itself, okay? This would literally be it. So that's very, very important. Now, my friend Anonymous wants me to look at the Doge ETH ratio. So I'll just construct it here. You do Doge divided by ETH. Make sure you use the full indexes. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like right here. So I like this. This is actually nice. You might actually see it swoop up, okay? I would not pick, look, obviously Doge carries higher risk than Ethereum. If you're choosing Doge, I would still do half Doge, half ETH, because you just don't know. You just don't know when it comes to things of that big nature and then going, right? But it's actually a nice chart. You know, friends, what's awesome as well? If you look at Tron, okay, Tron as well, TRX ETH, man, this is actually wild. Tron, Justin Sun is literally accelerating against Ethereum. That is wild, okay? So we hope that as ETH BTC recovers again, let me just show you. So this is it, friends. So when altcoins were mooning against Bitcoin, look how high the ETH BTC ratio was. It was like 0.09 or above, okay? Right up here. We're at 0.026. So man, we've got to go a long way up here, and then we'll actually have a massive, massive, massive explosion. If I was to guess, okay, just a total guess, ETH BTC spends the next 2 or 3 years getting back here, and then it chippity chops, and in 2031, it actually goes for the big run, and everyone's bearish here. That's why I just think, and why is that, by the way? Why is that? It's because I think in the next 2 to 3 years, it will be the 7-year round trip from 2021. And personally, I think there's just too many nightmare, murderous regrets from everyone. No one will forget 2021. I know, fans, all of you think about your portfolio high. I know everyone does. That's all they're thinking about. All they're thinking about is that number, portfolio high. I know if you're ever going to get that again, everyone's going to go tell their girlfriends, boyfriends, wives, squirrels, pet turtles, and they'll be like, oh, it finally came back. Get out now. Hardling sucks. That's what's going to happen, and that's going to be chippity choppity. And you know what's funny? That actually happened with the NASDAQ. Let me show you. The NASDAQ, my friends, after the tech bubble, you see this? The NASDAQ, right? This is crash 1. This is crash 2 GFC. The NASDAQ finally, after all those years, came back to its top. All right? And it took 15 years. And look what it did, friends. It's no coincidence. Look what the NASDAQ did. It starts chop, 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 chop. You see this? Why is that? It's because all the people who lost their money 15 years ago, they remembered the number. aren't markets amazing, my friends? How does everyone remember? Oh, they remember. Everyone remembers their number. Yeah, the market collectively, everyone remembers the number. They're like, oh my gosh, it's back. What do I do? What do I do? But it's funny, they are all cheats. Because this is something you understand in markets as well. That you get some pumpy G music. See, in markets, friends, you don't get lucky. All right, you don't get lucky. So people think that when it comes back, you're just getting lucky. No. It's okay. The Nasdaq is only going up this way because it's about to blow the roof off. But this allows people to get their payout because they just don't want to live with it again. So that's what I hope crypto is able to do for us into the future. Remember, I'm using the word hope a lot. That's all we got. More friendship confirmed from all the baby dolls. Guna Arsenal. Don't even touch yourself. He said it's too late. Thank you, sir. QC Organics. Greetings. Sensors. Hex is the way. I appreciate you. Goblin. Peter Skiff was right all along. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's hard to watch, but also you got to remember too, Peter Skiff, friends, he's never going to change his mind. But I know what everyone's thinking. They're like, man, it's okay. Because what you're thinking is, because gold went up, you're thinking, man, it'd be nice if you're always wrong, but the one thing you believe in is as safe as gold, right? That's the advantage that he has out there. But not even really, friends. I mean, like this thing's dog shit. Did you understand? It's a portfolio. It's a diversifier, man. It's a diversifier for your portfolio. Do you have $10 million and you're scared about your country debasing? All right, throw 500 grand in gold. Okay, but gold doesn't get you rich. It just keeps you rich. That's the most important thing to think about. Continuing on. Stefan. Oh, Adam P says, Mr. Friendly is better than Mr. Plenty. There we go. Stefan. Honest to God, pDAI is the only coin on PulseChain that I've remained on profit on throughout the entirety of all this recent dumping. It is resilient as F. It is, sir. And thank you for making that comment, because now that I've told you the story of, you saw HEX first cycle, Old Testament, and then we transition, okay? Not hormones, not genders. We're just transitioning time. The players change. Okay, because you understand, friends, like, if we're in crypto, we're not here for the money. Where's the money? We've been losing for 5 years. So what are you here for? The tech. You're here because you think the tech's valuable, okay? But there's no money here. So you're actually here because you think this thing is worth something, okay? Because you're here for the tech, right? So if you can understand, say, Richard Hart pumping all these guys really fast, and then think about how would you react next time? What are the things you would tweak? You know, there's definitely no expectations, is there? You know, friends, I wouldn't. I hope one day someone makes a movie out of this, because I guarantee, man, if we make it, if we go like the whole way and we flip the Israeli shekel at 32 cents, if we flip Gainsy, friends, at 34 cents here, and someone's making a movie, I think the directors and the directees will be shocked if they watch my videos, and they'll be like, how the hell was this guy telling the whole market exactly what's going, and the damn thing took forever to go up? You know, but that's why I've explained it for you. That's a unicorn, dude. That's what a unicorn is. The market doesn't know how to price the stuff. It's either way too low or way too expensive. Just like AI. Could be zero, infinite supply, or could be infinite demand because of the robots. You have no idea how to price it because it's too new. Never before seen. Do you see? That's the power of this. But of course, you know, the $1 trillion question is, how do you find the unicorns? Right place, right time. I mean, everyone thought they had the unicorn of HEX because it had a T-share system. They've never seen that before. And then look what ends up happening. Okay. Now we have round 2. So to add to that point as well, now that you've seen, say, Conrad Zen, I apologize. Conrad Zen, look how much supply the guy has. And he's threatening Richard Hart. Friends, do you honestly think anybody in pDAI would ever do that? Can you honestly do you think anybody in pDAI would go, hey, Richard, I'll dump the stupid unbacked Ponzi coin that you don't like publicly anyway? You see? And that's why when I went to 0, I wouldn't be surprised if strong hands accumulated it. just to let you know, friends, you know, a lot of people blocked me. A lot of them from the community. Fire Whale literally sold the low of pDAI, and I'll just show you now. So it worked. It's actually funny. It worked. It's not even. So what I'm telling you, I'm not telling you something will happen. I'm telling you with evidence that we've seen on chain and on Twitter Roonies, it has already happened. You can actually see this. This is the HEX pDAI ratio. So what I'll do is I'll make this the pDAI versus HEX ratio. Okay, so I'll show this and I'll keep it family friendly. There you go. So right here in Trump euphoria, many people sold their HEX to buy pDAI. Then Richard Hart fuds it and they sold their pDAI to buy HEX. They lost 85% of their HEX. And now it's actually come all the way back up. They never got back in. So all the people who blocked me, they actually sold there. And they actually called for me to go to jail. Which is funny. You got massively rinsed. Massive. I wonder if it's happening here. That's continuing. Somebody, Mr. Mad B, sir, this comment, my heart is now fluttering with this sweet, sweet comment. He said, you're a sugar plum honey biscuit. You're going to get moderator status. And don't you think I'm going to forget about you ever again? Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear today. Actually, funny guys, one of you guys said to me, I think it's someone who watches me religiously as well. They said, Sommi, the first time my friend linked me you, he says, he goes, I want to knock you out. He goes, because the first thing he said was, hello, baby dolls. And he said, like, I think he's maybe like a big, like a trucker. I'm a trucker's man. And he had his wife, must be like middle America or something. And he's opening like me on a laptop. And the first thing he hears is, you're a baby doll sugar plum honey biscuit. And he's just never heard anybody say that before. And he's like, wife's in the kitchen. And she's probably thinking, I knew you were gay. So, but now he watches me. So it was kind of funny. It was just funny, this story of someone discovering that. And it just had this like reaction like, ah! By the way, friends, I do that. It's a joke because everyone's trying to be alpha male and everyone looks like a loser. You know? Like you saw the Andrew Tate stuff. I'm an alpha male. You just end up getting mogged, friends. You know, like Andrew Tate trying to be an alpha male. They find his hyperliquid wallets. He's lost like 18 trades in a row, and then jams win. It's just like oh man, that's why they just don't get it. New generation, we just don't give a shit, dude. No, literally no one cares. Okay, it's just, you know, that's what this whole money isn't real type of philosophy stuff comes from. Just things have changed. Things have changed. And really why it's all happened is we now have digital network effects. There's the crypto valuations of groups we care about that you can't see. See, back before, you know, back when the world was in barbaric times, pre-Game Boy days, you didn't have a digital network effect, okay? All you had was either the book club or school or the local pub. That's it, your local town. Everyone knew who you were. That's what it used to be like. And now we don't have that. Now you have kids, maybe one kid's like playing any of the online video games. And they have their like actual friends over there. So they don't give a crap. Like, who are you? Or they have like these random TikTok groups or Instagrams. So yeah, the whole world has just become hyper digital. It's just you can't see it. And that's why people just don't care about stuff, you know? Like a biggest example, friends, every day I watch like the Twink Daily Brothers, okay? And they'll always start their video off with like a guy on MSNBC saying, I think the ETF inflows are going to increase. And I click off straight away. It's just too boring, bro. Like, we don't care about these people in suits, dude. Do you understand? They're losers. They don't say anything controversial. They're always wrong. We can see through them. It's just the times are changing, friends. And that's why I think everybody's currently getting mogged buying the SpaceX IPO, which hopefully doesn't top the market. And crypto's still the coolest thing. Because, you know, friends, ultimately, people want to be early, man. They want to feel like they're early. You know, that's what it comes down to. Snowcraft. Next, they will shill SpaceX at the blow off top. Perhaps, sir. Perhaps. As well. Perpetual Bitcoin. Thank you. Friendship confirmed. They are. The peg falling off is a sign from Guna Arsenal. So, friends, also, we had some big news in PulseChain community as well, friends. We have LibertySwap is thankful for PLS folio support of Liberty V3 positions. Okay. So LibertySwap as well, they have released big news, the hyperliquid market, prediction markets. So you can see all these. It feels like Richard Hart's working in the background. Just feel, I don't know, dude. You know, look at my hat. Okay, but they're releasing more perpetuals, poly market. He's I don't know who it is. Could be Brandon B. Brandon B is behind LibertySwap and Eric Wall, right? Imagine it really wasn't Eric Wall grand reveal. That'd be funny. They are adding all this stuff that has product market fit. It's just the problem is obviously all the people in crypto, especially when they're watching Tom Lee down $12 billion. But at least the infrastructure's there. It's just going to take some time. I've got more sexy stuff for you. Also, friends, I did do a groundbreaking announcement yesterday. I have a Israeli SuperCycle, which is very, very, very important. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom! I know it sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's real. it's an actual Israel SuperCycle. Zcash, Israel. Solana, Israel. StableCoins, massive Israel. Ethereum, very Israel. Okay? Bitcoin, not Israel. So it's an Israel SuperCycle. Ethereum's going to pump. And yeah, I've been denying it for a long time. And last time I had, this is crazy, my last cycle thesis was the ribbiting, which was wild. And that's what I explained for you in my video. It's nuts. I just, for no reason, on Twitter, is how it started. I just noticed people starting to call each other gay and then FAG again. And I'm like, interesting. Those words are coming back. And I was like, it must be random. And then I kept hearing it more and more. And then on Twitter, I would see somebody use those words to mog someone, and it would get a lot of likes and it would flare up. And I'm like, interesting. Something's happening here, right? And then after a few months, I could see this resurgence of fighting against the system, and ended up being the Donald Trump resurgence and stuff out here. So friends, I'm not special. I'm a humble peanut brain. I'm here 18 hours a day. You understand? If you ask me, hey, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? I go, I don't know. You know, I have no idea. I don't know about sports. I don't have any of these innate abilities out here. It's just, I just saw this. And yeah, that's why, trust me, I'm more shocked than you are. I go, Israeli SuperCycle? Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you, it's a hated rally. You got to imagine the look on everyone's faces when they see that the entire Israeli stock market is up 180%. Yeah, man. Friends, you know what's funny? This is their October, the October 6th day? It's right here. And that was a literal fake out. And then it literally went to the moon. Wild, right? So there's going to be more of that, more continuing. Man, it's going to be funny. Because I just think about if ETH-BTC just goes all the way up and our altcoins come back, and I'm just yelling out Israel SuperCycle. Like, do you imagine how confused everyone in crypto is going to be? Because they're looking at the retardios. Okay, they're looking at what's he talking about? Israel SuperCycle. What does that mean? But these are the crazy things that work out, friends. I mean, like, hey, how about an inverse Terra Luna, right? See, the friends, they sound funny and joke to you, but you understand that's what Bitcoin was at the start. Okay, digital scarcity, right? So all these things that start off, they sound so wildly stupid, but it doesn't mean they all work out. It's just, but you're on the right path now. If people agree with you, you got no chance. Got no chance. Raj is back. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before. Raj is back. We missed you, Raj. I appreciate you. Michael yelling about Spoony attack. I've noticed, sir, you are not a moderator, but now you are. Midnight Ornament saying WarLord mode. That was Richard Hart. So remember, friends, you guys are aware of a little coin called Corridanzo. He's Charles Cuckinson because he's blocked me. Charles, friends, he's similar to Richard Hart spiritually. Okay? It's just that they have a different method of how they approach it. Charles, he's more human. So Charles is not a warlord. Charles says, I'm going on a break. Okay, now I'm back. That's Charles. And Charles like rallies the troops. Friends, Charles is, I'm not joking, 10 out of 10 oratory talking skills, man. This guy can talk. He G's you up when he speaks. He's like, we have to build for the future. We have to fire each other up, okay? You have to, like, just his words, friends, they just, the vision and the image, of course, all fluff, but it's amazing. It's just, he's really, like, I can imagine, friends, if he was a president 100 years ago, he would be like the warlord general to rally up the troops, you know? And you could tell he'd have like a big beer gut as well. He wouldn't be able to do anything war related. But you can just tell he's one of those guys, you know? He speaks about our founding fathers fought for your right to privacy. Use it! Get up there and use it, damn it! Like, he talks with all his passion and stuff out here, you know? It's kind of funny just to see the current Anzo price, but he's more human empathy stuff, okay? And it's more nerdy. Yeah, it's more empathetic. And then Richard Hart is not that. Okay, there's no right or wrong here. It's just different product market fit. Okay, Richard Hart is shut up. I'm in charge. And also, if someone puts an idea, Charles Hoskinson is like, yes, we will take your idea into consideration. That's what Charles will say. And Richard will just say, that's a stupid idea. Don't waste my time asking that question again. Okay, it's just different. It's different. That's why when people get upset, there's nothing to be upset about, bro. It's just literally... It's product market. He understands his market. Oh yeah, for everyone holding as well now. Did you know most Hexicans, there is a very, very large population of ex-army veterans in Hex. So they are all actually not metaphorical soldiers. They literally served in the US Army. A lot of them are vets. Okay, so they all respond to the commando. Okay, all of them. Like, friends, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the P-Hex, E-Hex debacle when RH came out and flooded E-Hex? It was right here, March 2024. I remember literally on this top tick, Richard Hart said, E-Hex, you are no longer my child. Hex is the only Hex. He said that. And then Dr. Hexologist, who is a literal army veteran, he literally, I'll never forget it, he made a tweet. He retweets Richard and he goes, okay, boss, whatever you say. That was his reply. I'm not joking. I still remember it. It was something along the lines. He goes, okay, boss, whatever you say. As in, like, okay, E-Hex doesn't exist anymore. We follow Hex. That's army soldier. Because in the army, friends, you're trained. Bro, you're not here to have an opinion. You understand? There's no microphone for you. You've got a gun in your hand. You've got sticks in your back pocket. And you've got a Game Boy in case you get bored. All right? You're here to follow instructions. There's no thinking. Yeah. So it's interesting they even react like that. Okay. Now you can see why they, in their hearts, responded to WarLord Richard. As in, like, oh my gosh, finally, somebody who's a commando who tells me, like a war general, exactly what I have to do. See, it's a double-edged sword, though. Okay. It's very powerful leverage in a bull market. But in a bear market, when things go down and down and down, what happens? The morale's gone. You see, the morale's gone. That's why there might be a version 2. Sue, be honest. Did PumpFun help crypto or make it worse? PumpFun is an extension of pEPI. pEPI was the meme coin SuperCycle 2023 early rumblings when I made my thesis in the ribbiting. And then PumpFun bastardizes it. So PumpFun, obviously, it's kind of funny, fans. Speaking about Israeli SuperCycle, Alon he's an Israeli kid as well. So I think he's just Jewish. But the thing is, when it comes to PumpFun, they could see that the product market fit of people is they wanted to feel like they're a part of a new network constantly. So it's just a dopamine hit. Okay. It's like, you know, having a relationship versus just watching a new corn video every 15 minutes. Corn. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a new corn video. Do you understand? That's what ended up happening. And the market followed him from Soilana because that's what they wanted. Yeah, basically, they chopped away all the holding part and they just go, oh, I know what you want. You just want to feel like you're early to dump on everybody else. And that's actually how PumpFun pretty much came out. So PumpFun, friends, everybody sees it as a curse on the industry. It's actually not. It's a blessing. It is a blessing because now people have seen what happens when you just have too many coins. If you keep changing coins, everything gets rugged. So it's actually, I've noticed a psychological shift from everyone in the marketplace. Do you know, friends, 5 years ago, new coin meant new opportunity. It used to mean like that for like 10 years of crypto. Do you know that? Now, new coin doesn't mean new opportunity anymore. New coin, everybody's default is new way for me to get scammed. Yep. So that's all thanks to PumpFun. So PumpFun, like, it's like a healing process. It's like it made the industry weaker to strengthen everyone up psychologically, you know, because you have PumpFun rugging everyone, and then you have XRP, which made it after 7 years. Back to the comment section. Tam Tam's in here. Lovely Tam Tam. We love Tam Tam. Please, Tam Tam, tell us how your day is. Our day is in here. Sir, what are you doing without a moderator status? Mr. R Day is also a mod in my telegrams. He is Mr. Peg. Fans, have you ever seen me post the pDAI credit card, the pDAI debit card? That was created by Mr. R Day. Mr. R Day, Mr. Peg. Man, what a picture, man. I get so G'd up. That is so perfect. Just the way the purple becomes the pink. I don't know, just looks so juicy and colorful. Clean Trons. Sir Sommi is live again. This calls for a moo. Thank you, sir. Heard him for a mooing. Heard him for a mooing. My dog's breakfast. I'm a VeChain degen. I'm totally wrecked, but I don't care. VeChain. VeChain, man. That's another one. VeChain was a supply narrative, you know, thing of the world. You can actually see it on the chart. Oh, this is VeChain. I think we can look at the VeChain BTC ratio. VET's BTC. Do they still have it here? Right there. There you go. So it's down here. You never know, man. I hope it comes back and it does some swindling. But do you understand, like, don't do this, but do you understand how rare it is where I can go, well, there's a stupid coin called pDAI. If it works out, it erases all of your losses and you make a profit. Yeah. Don't touch it from that. I'm telling you, but like, it's really rare to even have that idea. Like, friends, do you think XRP is going to do a 100x from here? No. That'll be 8 trillion market cap, by the way, from here. Do you think Bitcoin's going to do 100x from here? Be honest. Right? Be honest. Do you even think Ethereum's going to do 100x from here? Friends, Ethereum, if it does 10x, I know you're all out. If Ethereum does 10, and 10's stupid. You don't even think Ethereum will do like a 5x from here, most people, yeah? So when we're dealing with a chance, something can flip the Israeli shekel 191x higher. The US dollar's 560x. Very, 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 very rare. Very rare. Very rare. Okay? This is extremely rare. And look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, man, this used to be everywhere. You know, friends, in 2019, 2020, if you're looking around, everyone was like saying, oh, that's going to go 100x, that's going to go 50. People would say stuff like that. And that's why is that? It's because of the others chart. Just to show you, like, things did go up that much all the time. And you actually see that just in the others USD chart, which I will show you without being racist right here. So you can actually see, friends, see these numbers down here. Man, this is wild. If you bought any altcoin here, you made 1000x in the cycle. It's crazy. You literally bought 1000x. If you bought any altcoin in 2015, literally 1000x. And the next one, 35x. And then now one, 3.8x. And then it's literally round tripped everything. So diminishing gains, diminishing pains. Hopefully we make it. Second, monsters. The first home bought with Bitcoin as collateral just happened in Michigan. Wow. We love Michigan. Awesome. Freddie Mac announced it would allow lenders to consider Bitcoin held in a borrower's account when assessing mortgage. Okay, so warning, 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 warning. This is deep state working. I predict this in 2022. So I'm just telling you, warning, don't do it. But it's also bullish for the industry. Because, let me show you BTC. I got this big warning, friend. This is how they actually steal your Bitcoin off you. Okay? This is actually what they're doing to Michael Saylor. So this is Bitcoin, right? Friends, as Bitcoin hopefully goes up, as it goes up in the future, the banks, friends, they know you can't repay this stuff. They will offer more leverage to retailers up here with the Bitcoin as collateral. And when it goes down, they get liquidated. The banks scoop it off you because you're a forced seller. They forced liquidate you and they're scooping the other side. And this rinses your collateral value off you. Okay. Now, please remember, friends, altcoins. See, man, this is just what happened, right? everyone knows altcoins drop 90%. They know that. So what did most people do in 2024, 2025? So when Trump comes in, okay, we use the XRP chart. When Trump comes in, people knew altcoins drop 90%. So they go, well, okay, it drops 90%, but that's at the top, but we're not at the top. So I'll just do 2 or 3x leverage. And what they did is they did 2 or 3x leverage starting 2025. Okay. Now, do you know, friends, I remember there's an interview from Arthur Gaze. You know your favorite gay bear? Arthur Gaze, he did an interview maybe 2020. Okay. He actually revealed what the average leverage taken by all customers doing leverage is. In 2017 to 2018, the average leverage was 13x. 13x. Okay. By the time we hit 2020, the average leverage was 20x. Sorry, 10x. Okay. So I just want to show you this. Okay. So you can actually see it here. So it's interesting, right? So here it was 13x leverage, LVG. When we got to 2021, 10x leverage. Okay. But then everyone got smashed. So do you remember I told you markets are never static? See, people are always learning. So, and everyone's smart in markets, and you're a survivor. You're like a cockroach that survives nuclear fallout. So people learned. So they learn, they go, okay, 10x leverage is too much. That's for stupid gamblers. So what they did is they go, okay, I'm just going to do 3x leverage. Okay. Now, unfortunately, what you and I didn't know, because we can't see the books of Bybit and Binance and Coinbase and anybody else, okay, we can't see all the customers doing the leverage. You can't see that. Only they can see that. An OKEX example, okay? They could see everyone is doing a 3x leverage long because they want to play the 4-year cycle and they want to get out by the end of the year. Now, if you were to walk into 2025 knowing this, you would probably think they're safe because you would never have predicted the Black Swan. The Black Swan happened where literally October 10th comes out, mysterious, where'd it come from? The exchanges go, oh, wait a minute. Everyone's doing 3x leverage. Okay. So let's send the damn thing down literally 50% in 15 minutes. We wipe everyone. And that's exactly what happened. Okay. It was literally on the pDAI conference day. So here you go. This is October 10th. Many coins went where? There you go. Down 52%. Boom. Goodbye. There's your money. So it's literally, it's very sad, right? It shows you that it doesn't even matter how safe you think your leverage is. They will find your weak point and go for you. Now, you know what I'm saying, friends? It's actually, it's old news to everyone in crypto. But the thing is, the leverage used to be 10x. You know, friends, if you're 10x leverage long, if they move it down 10%, you lose. All right. So if you're 2x leverage long, they've got to move it down 50%. That's safe in stocks. Look what they did in crypto. They just go, you know what? Here's the middle finger. Goodbye. I'm taking all your money in 15 minutes. Very sad. That's why I'm telling you, with what my friend told me about Michigan, shout out to Michigan, the banks will, over time, they will offer Bitcoin leverage loans, and there will be a bigger crash than anybody expects. And that's why I'm telling you, don't do it, because what you actually find, friends, see, you know, friends, if I'm not looking at the market, I'm a mid-curver. You know, I actually had that many times. If I have no ideas, that's what I often do. If there's a setup or a scenario or a guess, sometimes I'll play a game. I'll be like, okay, I think this. And then what I'll do is I start reading comments and I start checking polls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's thinking the same way as me. That happens all the time. So I'm telling you, if you're doing leverage, there's like a 90% chance you're doing it with everybody else, and everyone's only doing it because it sounds like such a great idea, which means it's a perfect opportunity to get swiped. It's very hard as well, friends, because you know when leverage goes up, you see, it sounds obvious, right? But when things are up, people don't see you as like a prudent risk manager. They say, you don't want me to make money. you got lucky. Okay, you don't understand what's going on. You understand? That's what ends up happening. That's the crowd in euphoria. Okay, that's actually what we call the thrill part of the market, which I'll show you on the Wall Street cheat sheet, which is actually right here. Now, friends, I want to tell you something and keep it family friendly. Have you noticed how the thrill says, I will buy more on margin? Got to tell everyone to buy more. Would you believe that chart matches right here? This is Michael Saylor buying 150,000 Bitcoin because of the US Strategic Reserve on leverage right there. Could you believe it? Look, it's literally in the thrill part. I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. Look at this, friend. This is literally, look at this date. This is Trump victory. Trump victory. It's so, look at the thrill. And what's the euphoria, friends? The euphoria, here you go. Right up there. Devil's number, 66%. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Which means we've got to unwind all of that. Bitcoin dominance, anxiety. We haven't even hit anxiety, friends. They're still in complacency. You know what the complacency is? Okay, I'll tell you right now. Michael Saylor right now went on stage in the last 24 hours. He's literally lying to everyone. Not like twisting words. He's actually lying. Okay. He said we have to increase Bitcoin per share, which means if MicroStrategy's stock, the price is too low, I will not print the shares, dump it, and go buy Bitcoin to pay off the yield. I'm not going to do that. That's what he said for the past year. Guess what he did? He did exactly that. He printed MicroStrategy and he's done that. And now when people said, hey, what happened to your Bitcoin per share stuff? He goes, no. There's a new calculation now. Man, that's literally exactly what's happening right now. We're watching the Ponzi friends. We're watching them lie about it right now. We're watching them lie, twist words, etc., etc. Let's continue. Okay, I'm just going to find my other window. There we go. We have Sluggy Boo. Morning, baby dolls. Thank you so much, sirs and madams. Gary with 3 R's. My favorite Gary. If Richard Hart released a stablecoin, when do you think he would do it? Bull or bear? You know, friends, look, friends, even in my life, every time I have gotten my hopes up for anything, it's been a disappointment. Okay? Oh, Matt, it's going to be pizza tonight. The crust is too hard. The crust is too hard. Right? Every time I get hopes up for literally anything. Oh, The Last of Us 2. I can't wait to play the sequel. They turn the series into a game where you play as a transgender girl and then you literally murder Josh. You know? So every time I get my hopes up for anything and everything, it goes down, friends. So when it comes to stupid coin not worth talking about, okay, I would love to say to you, yeah, man, you know what makes a lot of sense? Peg it right now and make me really, really, really rich. Trust me, it'll work out in your favor. You know, I'd love to say that. But if I want to protect my testicles, and they're very squashed right now, I am just going to go with the coexistence Stephen method, which is, I'll just show you now. The coexistence Stephen method is, and I was doing this as well. If I go all the way up, draw a wavy line forever and hope for the best. Whee! That's what it is. Yeah, it's a long time, but I'm prepared for that. Okay, I'm prepared. I don't want that to happen. I want this to happen. But yeah, I'm prepared for it to take 5 years. I am. Because, look, friends, look, remember from my perspective, there are so many names missing. They're all gone from the past 3 years in every coin. And a lot of it, you know why? It's because they thought it would get better. Dirty crypto's gone. Right? See, friends, like it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart. Check out this Ponzi. MicroStrategy. In the depths of the 2022 crypto winter, our average cost basis was 30K, whilst Bitcoin traded 50% below it at 16. What did we do? We bought more. They're now doing the do quan part where they're posturing to the market because everyone's saying, you caused the dump, you this year. So this is where it gets dangerous, right? Oh boy, we still haven't seen the Bitcoin dominance anxiety part. All right. What would Bitcoin dominance anxiety be? It's going to be something wild, probably. We'll see. Let's continue. Ozpex. $10 DCA into HEX. Build your ladder. You're going to get a moderator status. There you go, friends. I know, friends, look, in crypto, we all want to go all in. Everyone, we want to go all in, but just don't, dude, don't. I actually have a formula now, which is, it's sad because we've been defeated, but the formula is, and it's really, really sad, and hopefully it's a bottom signal. However much money you want to put in. Let's say someone says, okay, I've got $1,000. Okay, divided by 10. Right? Divided by 10. And you go, okay, how long were you planning to hold it for? And I go, everyone, every retailer, friends, females, old, young, turtles, squirrels, hedgehogs, they all say the same number. About 6 to 12 months. Every time. It's funny, like I've been hearing 6 to 12 months for about 7 years. It's actually the retailer average hold time in stocks. Did you know that? The average hold time is about 180 days in stocks. That's the average. So there's 10-year guys, and then there's about 90-day guys, 60 and 90 days. So the 6 to 12 months is just, yeah, wave on watch. So divide their number, the capital, by 10, and then multiply their holding time by 5 to 10. And if they're still motivated, okay, start the DCA buy. And then you realize that we're going to do things differently next time, which might actually be a bottom signal. Maybe it is time to go all in. I had a baby doll in here asking me, bear flag. You're going to get a moderator status for this username, by the way. Sommi, when peg? If I was to guess, man, I don't know, when Ethereum's 10,000, and then I hope that's a signal as well, but we'll see, man. Midnight ornament. Getting rich while eating ramen in a cardboard box is easy. All you got to do is sell it on a double, then a double, then a double, then a double. Well done, sir. I appreciate you. Red Pill Raj. Message to Conrad. Get the truck out of the ecosystem. We're all vampires ready to buy the blood. Get it over and done with. Yeah, man. Yeah. Fans, look, I'm not saying have sympathy for Richard Hart, okay? I'm not saying that. Just think about, though, he pumped an ecosystem, and then 5 years later, they're saying, I'll sell. I'll kill it more. I'll sell. Man, it just... Yeah, man. I want you to think about the extreme highs. Like, fans, dancing on coffins. For everybody new joining in as well, yes, we had the coffin dancing scene in 2021, and now it's coffin making scene. Isn't that crazy? It went from dancing on the coffin, now we're like, I'm going to make the coffin for the ecosystem. Wild. Wild times ahead. Let's catch up. Let's catch up to baby dolls. Tigra. September, October, Bitcoin bottom. Could be, sir. But even if we bottom now, you know it's going to take ages. We've written off the whole year. You know? E-Boogie. Garlic butter crust helps hard crust. I love garlic butter bread. That's awesome, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for this. That's actually hot alpha. Steflan. I'm buying Theta at these lows. I've still got some V-Chain as well. You never know, man. Those dinosaur coins might come back. If you are aware of Theta, my friends, yeah, if you know they're building something and they're going to do something, that's good. That's your edge. You know, I just haven't done any research into it. Art Suave, V-Chain, Theta, Digibyte, Synthetics. Those were the days. Yeah, man. Those are the real days. Coexistence Steven. Are there any crypto lawyers who are passionate about sharing? I know Nuclear Herbs is a gentleman. The pDAI community wants to have a short conversation around the legalities of the Clarity Act and how it might impact us. So the Post-Nut Clarity Act, there's always a rumor of a rumor that everyone's waiting for it, July 4th. By the way, friends, in 2 days, it's Donald Trump's birthday. So June 14th. And it's funny, there's someone said this might be financial advice. So June 14th. So I wonder if Donald Trump's going to announce some sort of pump of the market. Friends, if the market pumps on Donald Trump's birthday, then you will know crypto's rigged. Okay, because they can manipulate the stocks. Like you're talking about $100 trillion of valuations. You can manipulate that up, but crypto stays down. Like that's a bunch of BS. Big Banana. Conrad is posting bullish tweets trying to get a pump and dump on. Very interesting. Nobody believes it, except maybe this guy. So this is why we are where we are, friends. Vitalik has been getting closer and closer to human flesh females. Could be a demon. It's in Israel SuperCycle. Oh, man, look at that. Friends, what's he got in his chin? Okay, I imagine, friends, I know what he's got in his chin. He's probably, that's where he's hiding his caps. Okay, he's probably, I know what he's done. Look at him, look at him. Look at his chin. Okay? Messing with those damn human chemicals, Vitalik. You're a 7th density spiritual being. Why do you need to waste your time here? Friends, by the way, look at this article. This made me laugh. Look at this. This is a bullish Ethereum article. Ethereum. Bankless maggots sold. Grifters left the foundation. Vitalik retardio, but slowly walking up. Bet on Vitalik making ETH token valuable. Every good project runs its own chain in the future. Chains run on the world computer. Ethereum is the world computer. Thanks for coming to my TED talk. I like that. I like that a lot. You know, it's a contrast from my Israel SuperCycle. He's just like saying bankless maggots. Isn't it funny? That's like the hottest alpha. Bankless maggots sold. That's like the #1 alpha. Oh man, speak about this alpha. Here is Autism Capital, who pivoted from crypto to something else.
I refuse to do it because a troll on Twitter said, hey, you said never sell your Bitcoin. Like, okay, fine, I'll destroy $100 billion company so that I don't sell my Bitcoin. You know?
Was that a Freudian slip? He called MicroStrategy a $1 billion company instead of 100 billion. Please don't be the end. Please don't be the end. Not now. Not now. Just to let you know, friends, Michael Saylor's main character. Yep, he's main character. So you know what we do with main characters, right? But he's been main character for a very long time. Now it's just Russian roulette. Okay? When's the BitConnect thing gonna happen? You know it is. It'll happen when he tries to raise money, and you'll see MicroStrategy spiral. So he can't dilute that. So then Bitcoin dumps because the market's front running him, that he has to sell Bitcoin to pay off the stretch to go down, and then there's a deflationary Ponzi loop. But he's set up all the structure of the shares that nobody can legally come to him. That's why a lot of people have, friends, millions of dollars of their personal life savings. There's, you know, friends, you know, stretch. 80% of the holders are retail. Nurses, doctors, squeaky chair makers, people who work at zoos and look after the pet stores. I'm not making up 80%. Okay, so man, this is just how it happens. So they think there's a piece of paper that says, oh, he's not allowed to rug us. Dude, that doesn't mean anything, dude. Do you understand? He can do whatever the hell he wants. Oh man, I hope it doesn't happen. Let's continue. Gooner. Charles Hoskinson is boring as hell. So because you're a gooner, you'll also become a moderator. I appreciate you, friends. I've been making a lot of moderators in the YouTube comment section as well, friends. There's a lot of racist bots that keep appearing. You know, friends, you know, on blocked words, I've got about 805 blocked words now. Yeah. That's how much I keep blocking them. And it actually works. I had a family friend call me up once randomly, and they said, oh, quick question. A lot of people were talking about this coin, and I'm like, what is it? pDAI? HEX? Bitcoin? Ethereum? PUI? Soy? They go, no. She goes, no. It's called like ERG77Z3. And I'm like, no! That's the fake Indian bot farms coin. You're telling me it works? Oh, man, that pissed me off so much. Because that means it works. That's why they're doing it. Because like a random family friend, they're like, oh, everyone's talking about like EG773. And I'm like, oh, man. So if you see them, friends, just delete them. YouTube, I don't know why they do that. I don't want to ask YouTube friends because, like, you know, there's a lot of red pill SuperCycle stuff on my show. Guna just says Israel in large capital letters. Well, friends, there's one guy on PulseChain community. It's his username is Israelis for PulseChain. it's maximum hatred, man. It's got maximum mind share. It triggers so many people. You know. Oh man. Hey, you know what? If it's an Israel SuperCycle, does that mean Soy Bankman-Fried is going to get the pardon? Wow. I wonder. Soundhound, watching Sommi on Smoko is peak. Thank you so much, sir. You are contributing to your country's GDP and your company's balance sheet. I appreciate you. The Wizard of Oz. Meme stocks are going to pump tomorrow. I can feel it in my spoon. Hey, thank you for that idea, friends. Friends, did you know GameStop, it correlates with our alt seasons, which is weird. It's the same people. Okay, it's the same people. This was 2021. This was Roaring Kitty comes back in 2024. This was Bitcoin Spot ETF. Isn't it wild? GameStop pumped near the Bitcoin Spot ETF here. Well, our Bitcoin Spot ETF was in March. GameStop comes here. Okay, and then you have the Trump euphoria, which has failed as well. So here it is right there. Oh man, I hope this thing comes back up. You know. By the way, please don't waste your time with this stock stuff, dude. They changed the rules. They banned the buy button. Okay, we made crypto to remove the disable button. Like, we made crypto because we know they disable. We don't guess they're going to disable. We know they do. And so what do all the Wall Street bets guys do? They're like, yeah, man, I'm going to go. I love stocks, dude. Got to get the stocks. And then they go get mogged. Okay. But then they're looking at us like saying, hey, crypto guy, do you remember what you said 5 years ago? And we're like, okay, give us another 5 years. So Shoesy's sack. Sommi, we found you, sir. You're a unicorn. I appreciate you, friends. Man, it's just funny. Do any of you guys talk about crypto in real life? I haven't spoken about it in years and years and years. And just, if I hear the word CR, I'm like, nah. Just don't even bother. Don't even bother. Friends, you know YouTube, dude. You know YouTube, all the YouTubers on crypto, the viewership is down 75% from 2021. So the industry is meant to, we've still lost people from 5 years ago, dude. It's absolutely insane. It's wild. Just like, there's just, I think I posted yesterday, Elio Trades 3 years ago, his views had 200,000 views per video. 200,000. That was 3 years ago. 2 years ago, his views are 50,000. Now 12. So 200, 50, 12. Okay? Because that's what happens, right? When you build an audience based off, here are my top 10 coins to buy, well, these audience friends, they are short-term mindset people. So they are just like, you're just a public bathroom to them. And they just leave you. They just go somewhere else. Now they're going in the hot stuff, AI stocks, okay? So that's another thing. I never like think about, oh, what type of audience I want and stuff out here, but you just see this happening in real time. E-Boogie. I looked at my EHEX a few hours ago. I am sad now. Can't go below 0. Here we are. This is the PulseChain. Wow, what a bull market, friends. This is amazing. 4%. Euphoria, better take profit. E-Boogie, are these on TradingView? Which ones, sir? Which ones? I was looking at the deck screener. Not me, because I thought it was you. To be fair, prior to the HEX Coffin Dance video, Hexicans and Richard Hart were already hated. It was revenge on the haters. You are right, yes. The Coffin Dance video, which I'll show everyone, the video is just generational, right? Friends, this Coffin Dance video was a response to everybody in the industry hating them on the way up, okay? But see, that's right, friends. I hope everybody in pDAI community, I hope everyone's bags pumped, man. Obviously, I do. Like, it's cruel now. It's like, it's unusual punishment, bro. You pump potatoes 7x in a month, you know? But I hope one day if it does go up, I don't want to see anyone with a big head, okay? I don't think anyone's going to have a big head because we've just been destroyed for so long. Like, you're going to have to like rub your eyes like the cartoons and be like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a long time. But I don't want to see in a coffin dancing videos. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that. So I would love one day, look, friends, you don't need to mog them with doing this. Okay. They know they lost. Okay. They know they lost. They know. That's it. This is everybody else who maybe didn't participate and stuff out here. So they feel the pain. Just, you gotta remember, everyone's got a public perception, public persona. And the people you're talking to, you're only talking to a small representation of those who can handle the heat. Yeah. It's like out of 100 people, 5 are left. The other 95 they can't handle it. They know they've lost. But yeah, obviously we don't want to speak about that because we are the ones who've lost so far. Hopefully it changes. Clintrons, I miss the early faceless Sommi videos. The intro quips were the best thing on the internet. Yeah, so I still have a lot of them. We can do them. We can. I will. You know, the evolution of the show. Man, I'll be honest, I did not think we'd be here this long, dude. If you told me in 2023, hey, guess what? It's still getting worse in 2026. Oh my God. I just don't know. I don't think, yeah. Oh man, I got no words. I got no words. Should have bought Nvidia. Should have bought Nvidia. Tigra, Mystery Sommi was legit. Yeah, those are good times. Art Suave. Crypto 7 used to shout out at the sky back in the faceless AI Sommi video days. Man, you guys were so early to AI. Yeah, you guys calling everything AI back then, you guys are really, 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 really early. I wasn't even looking at or paying attention to it, but it was actually amazing. You guys are really early. So you guys are early to the AI thing. You guys are really early to angels and demons stuff. You guys actually, I'm very, very surprised. That's why I take all of your opinions, fans. I take them seriously. Whenever you guys tell me like anything, there's actual gems in here. Oh, by the way, you can make a lot of money off that. You know, Chris Camillo, friends. I'll try to find it. Chris Camillo. He is the guy. He's the social media trader.
What's interesting is that
I'll show you. This is Graham Stefan. Also, friends, speaking about Israeli SuperCycle, would you believe both of these are from Israel? I didn't believe it. Yeah, I watched. They interviewed one of the pastor guys, Christianity guys. I flipped the F out. Yeah, they're both Jewish. It's an Israel SuperCycle, bro. What? Gosh. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Wild. So this is Chris Camillo, friends. Chris Camillo, he doesn't use indicators. He doesn't look at balance sheet. He spends 4 hours every day now. He just reads TikTok comments all day. That's all he does. TikTok and Twitter comments. And he just looks at new words. Yep. So he looks at a new trend like coconut water. He goes, oh, coconut water is now being talked about more. So then he looks for the companies that are selling coconut water. That's actually how he trades. He calls it social arbitrage. That's what he says. It's attention stuff. He's doing attention game stuff, but for stocks. You see, but it's a different level. It's Generation X boomer stock level. With crypto, we take it a whole new level. You know what I mean? Like imagine there's no product here. The product is the actual community. That's crypto in the network. And people actually get tattoos of this stuff. You know, it's literally right up his alley. But of course, we've been going down forever. So he's been doing the right thing, which is actually wild. So yeah, that's actually what he does. He actually makes money off that and made a lot. I think he's made now $100 million or something. Yeah. And it's wild, friends. You know, his portfolio, he's 70% exposed to NASDAQ of his entire net worth. Yeah. 70% exposed to NASDAQ. And he has a bit of leverage on it too. That's wild. And he believes NASDAQ's going to double from here. And I'm just thinking like, man, I think we're just degenerate gamblers. Because I'm just sorry. A 2x for me, like I'm not getting out of bed for a 2x. But it's funny. We'll take that now when you're down 99%. Art Suave. VeChain is the current sponsor of the UFC. Thank you. VeChain. So is Crypto.com. Very interesting. Yeah, fans, all the sponsorships and stuff, man, they got to bring it back. You know, fans, you know, VeChain was the original 1000X coin. I think was it VeChain, friends? Was it VeChain or was it something else? Was this the original 1000X coin? Wow, it did 156X up here. Was it VeChain or was that something else? VeChain, something in the 2017 cycle. I forgot which one it was. Maybe one of the things that it was something starting with V, I think. VUSD. Doesn't matter. Fine. Matty Allen, crowd favorite, is in here. Matty, how are you doing, sir? Looking after your new baby son. Okay. Oh, man. Hope you got a 15-year stake for him. He'll be on side, surely. Oh, man. Good times. Good times. Yeah, friends, as well, how I could tell the HEX network effect was different was Dr. Hexologist in 2020, he was making videos about how, like during Christmas, at the end of 2020, randomly watched his videos. He's like, oh yeah, he goes, for Christmas, I got my grandma a ledger and my grandma a ledger or something. And I gave her like a 15-year stake. Yeah. And I was like, what? Yeah, it was, I know, like you're looking at it now, dude, that was mind blowing. You understand? Like that was you're so passionate, you're onboarding your family. You know, that was just totally different. And it was crazy, you know. I know we're looking at it now with different lenses, but that was unique back then, you know. Now it's like the standard. Now you've got like Morad saying, hey, I've got this Japanese hentai girl dancing. It's called SPX. It's going to flip the stock market. You know, I hope you do, Morad. Just, you know, just Japanese bouncing booby girls. I just don't know if it's worth 40 trillion, you know. You know what I mean? Sean. Sommi, sir, thank you so much for your dedication. You're welcome, friend. I appreciate you. Oh, it was Verge. Unique Ascension. Verge, you're going to get a moderator status as well. Friends, Verge was the first 1000x coin. And you know when I first heard it from someone, I go, nah, that's a typo. It's probably 1000%. Nope, 1000x. Get ready for this one. Verge, friends, literally, this is 2017, January. And in 12 months did, oh my gosh. Friends, that is a 1,500x return. Can you see? This is what it did. This was it, friends. This was 2017 alt season wave 1. And then it did the grand rotation. So Bitcoin kept rallying. Altcoins couldn't move for 6 months. And then when Bitcoin stopped, we had alt season wave 2. You see that? So you know this rough part? We might be now in a stock market versus crypto similar pattern where crypto had these runs. And now in the past 5 years, we're watching stocks go up and we're in this chop part. And maybe when stocks finally stop moving, which I'll show you the NASDAQ, okay? Maybe when stocks finally stop moving, they are going to be hopefully going sideways, and that'll bring out the big pumperoonies, which actually I'll show it to you right now, the NASDAQ. So this is what it would look like. This is what it would look like. And by the way, you know where we're getting this from? This actually happened, friends, in 1999. So you can actually go back here in 1999 in this chart here. This is where we go. See this red box? So the NASDAQ, friends, you know the NASDAQ? Once it started distributing here, see this? In this period, the racist Russell 2000, the smaller caps, they accelerated in this period, okay? I can actually show it to you on there's a ratio here. I'll give it to you. Give it to you, sweet. You have to find the racist Russell 2000 ratio against S&P. Here we go. For the boys. This is where we are. Let's actually show it to you now. 3-day chart. You can see it all the way back in 1999. There we go. Look at this. There we go right here. So you see how small caps could not catch up to the internet wave at all. And then when the NASDAQ slopped and slowed down, look what happened. This was a huge rally. This was like their final alt season. And then it went down. It was all over. You see that? Well, if you look at us now, it's funny. This might repeat history. Friends, this might actually repeat. This is where the racist... This is Russell against S&P 500. We might find where if NASDAQ tops out somewhere in 2028, 29, it does something like this. Whoa! Like that. And this might be the alt season, I guess, of crypto and stuff like that, what we call the grand rotation, as in the final thing. That basically is stocks have gone up for 20 years and people know they're late. So what they do is they take the capital out and they just go buy literally everything. And that's the frenzy. We might have the biggest colossal alt season of all time, but I don't want to jinx anything or G anything up, you know? Sins is asking for a moderator status. You will be a moderator right there, sir. Art, do you want us to block those spam coin commenters or just delete? If you see their tag, yeah, so just add the tag. Oh, no, and block them. Yeah. You can block the guys. And I think some of you can even, Mr. ArtSwap, make you a managing. You are a managing moderator. Remove as standard. Yeah, you can just block them. I think you can, some of you can add as well the term. Man, these guys are relentless. These scammers. Alex, I feel like we are Andy Dufrange. I've got his name. From Shawshank Redemption, taking 17 years to dig your way out of that bear market with Spoony. Yeah, man. Another one. Another one of these going down forever. Life stories where it has a good ending at the end. Stefan said, I talk about crypto in real life, but I play the fool and act like I'm just gambling. I kind of am. Yeah, we are. We are. Technically, by everyone's standards, we are gambling. We are. Because they only buy high. They only buy like Nvidia after it's making $80 billion a quarter. You know, and we're trying to buy early. Paul David, how many net new users does PulseChain need to do 10,000x? Good question, sir. You can actually calculate it by Metcalfes Law. So you do the square root of 10,000. Okay. So Metcalfes Law, remember, Metcalfes Law says if you, let's do this. If you increase a network by N people, all right, the price value goes up squared. Okay, so if you double a network of 2 people, okay, you will get 4x price. If you make it 10x more people, you will get a 100x price. You see that? So you can actually draw this on a chart, and that's why it actually goes parabolic. Okay, if you draw a big chart like here, here's 0. Okay, here is, if you do 2 people, and here's 10. Okay, 2 people are going to be 4 right here, but 10 is going to be all the way off the chart. You can see 10 will be like 100. Okay, 10 people. See? So literally it goes whee like that. Okay, so if you want to find out, and by the way, Metcalfes Law worked for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Cardano, HEX. Wild. I checked all of them. I was in shock. You know, it's not exact. There's a ratio up and down of it might go like 3x above, minus 3x below, you know, but it actually all worked. It worked in Shiba Inu. Like it worked exactly in Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu in 2021. Okay, actually, I'll show you the SHIB chart. Okay, this is wild. Okay. Shiba Inu, I remember I got the exact numbers right here. Actually, see, I've written it here. Shiba Inu had, if you go all the way back there, see where that arrow is? All the way here. Okay. Right down this. You go all the way down here. Shiba Inu here had 1,000 people. Okay. Right there. 1,000. Okay. In 12 months, it had 1 million people. So Shiba Inu, watch, SHIB user base grew 1,000x. So 1,000 to 1 million equals 1,000x. So price should have gone 1,000 squared equals 1 million x. And guess what? Shiba Inu went 1.7 million x from that moment. That my mind blew. I was doing this in 2022. 2022. Right? That's why I was so bullish on crypto. I'm like, wow, it's got nothing to do with profits. It's just the amount of people coming in. So if you want to know how many, for PulseChain to do 10,000x, you will do the square root of 10,000x, 100. So you need 100x more people. But the thing is, like, who's active and who's not, that's where it's hard to measure. Maybe in 10 years, they'll have accurate measuring models. So that's why if PulseChain has 10,000 people in here, if you want to do a 10,000x, right, you've got to get to 1 million people. 1 million people, right? So if you do, what's a 10,000x? Just give me an example. 10,000 times, what's PulseChain's market cap? Is it like 100 million market cap or not even? Or 80 million market cap? It gets you 800 billion market cap there. Okay, 800 billion. The numbers though, it fluctuates plus 5x, minus 5x. You know, so it looks small on a log chart, but they can actually, they're very wild. But that's just giving you an idea of that. Perpetual Bitcoin. HEX went minus 99% with more users. It actually didn't, sir. It looked like it was growing more users, but they're not. I mean, you could use a basic metric of the HEX influencers. Kareem, gone. Maddie, not streaming as much. He does have a son, though. Dr. Exologist. Like, they're all around, but kind of gone, you know? All the names, gone. Not showing their face, not appearing on... It's a proxy for that. So, maybe like 90% of them are gone. So, if you drop your user base by 90%, the price goes 99%. Pretty much it. That's also why crypto is very, very volatile. Because if you drop 50% of the people, you don't lose half your valuation. Okay? You lose more like 75 at least %. 75, 85, 90%. If you just lose 50% of your people. So it's super powerful both ways. And by the way, there is a way to get more valuations without adding more people. That's Reed's Law. Reed's Law, if you're in a city, okay, Reed's Law is the strength of each node. So, for example, you live in a city or in a country, Reed's Law is like the putting in a hospital, okay? Because you live in a city, you don't want to leave, okay? If they put in a hospital, now it's harder to leave. If they put in a school, now it's harder to leave. If they put your workplace, it's even harder to leave. If they put an airport, even more harder to leave. They put a park, they make roads, they put a bridge, okay, which is kind of helping you. Do you see what I mean? You're adding say, places into the country, the city around you, it strengthens your network in there. Now you never want to go. It makes it really, really, really hard, very rigid. 99% of people just don't want to leave the city that they're born in for that reason. So that's why in crypto, people are trying to find out the Reed's Law product market fit to make people never want to leave. Now, you want to know what is the answer to that? We don't know. We don't know. Okay, we have no idea. We're trying to guess. Okay, some of it includes like Uniswap. That's one step, but we're trying to figure out the next ones. Is it a stable coin for the chain? Maybe. That might be it. No one's ever done this. That's why we're still early to crypto. That's why crypto's at 2 trillion. It's not 100 trillion. When crypto is 50 or 100 trillion, hopefully we'll be alive. All of this stuff will be figured out. Everyone will know this stuff. It'll be in universities and everything. It's just we're really, really, really early. We're really early. We look like nut jobs. Okay. So if you figure out how to make people join your chain and never want to leave, you win the game. Okay. Bitcoin has Satoshi. It's the first mover advantage. Okay. So be first. That's Bitcoin's answer. Be first. It's first. Can you be first? You can't. You got to do something else. So maybe a stable coin. You know, people have tried stuff, gaming, metaverse, NFTs, that everyone tries a lot of stuff. Okay. And that's why it's very, very hard to measure these things, but you get an idea of these. These are like product market fit stuff that could be very advantageous to everyone. Like if you have a stable coin that's native, right? Now, even if PulseChain's prices go up or down, it wouldn't matter because you have the stable coin anyway, and you can just earn yield on it or spend from your card. Okay. Remember, this is purely speculative. We don't know, but you can see, if we are correct, you can see why your upside is 566x. That is pDAI to $1. Okay. Do you see? Because it's never been done before. So your upside's 500x pretty much. Yeah. So you're risking 1 to make 500. You get it? But you got to think about, look at Bitcoin. Okay. Do you have 500x upside in Bitcoin? No. Why is that? Because everybody in the world knows Bitcoin's first. They already know about it. They've heard about it. You know, every single person in the world knows Bitcoin is the first crypto. Everyone. Okay, so you have no edge. Where's your edge? You have no edge there. You got to find smaller edges, like, oh, Donald Trump's going to buy it with the strategic reserve. Or maybe you have other great edge. Brandon B is going to take profits in Pokemon cards 10x higher, and he's going to rotate into Bitcoin and send it. So it's like it's limited, less and less and less. Like a rich Saudi prince is going to buy more. That's nowhere near compared to, right, a never before seen thing. That's why these things are super highly volatile. Of course, very, very risky. Okay, so obviously the hard part is identifying them. You know, yeah, and by the way, you don't need to do this over and over again. Hitting one is a miracle of life. Just one. Yep. I mean, look at today, by the way. Look at every Bitcoin maxi. They just bought Bitcoin at $1,000. They don't know anything about altcoins or shares or Nvidia or Micron or Johnson & Johnson baby bump powder. They know nothing. They just hit one home run. That's all they needed. Okay. So yes, all it takes is one home run. However, finding the home run is very, very, very hard itself, because everyone says, oh, only put in 1%. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Okay, but it is the home run. You know, if you have 1% allocation and you hit the unicorn and it goes 100x, your whole portfolio doubles, right? You see? But if it goes to 0, you can still live tomorrow. Yeah, so there's no free lunch. Yeah. If you're all in, you make 100 lifetimes of wealth. But if you lose your lifetime. So no one can answer that question. Only you can. And that's also why no one likes buying low. All right. People want more information in pDAI. They want to see more LibertySwap stuff. And that people, look, as sure as I am that I'm going to peg my nipples again, okay? As sure as I am, I will do that. People will see pDAI cheaper at 5 cents than what it is right now. Okay, if we make it up there, it will seem way cheaper. There will be way more confirmation that there's liquidity and there's routes, and they can see the picture now, right? But if you're buying at 5 cents, you're getting a 20x upside, not 500. Okay, and then even higher, if pDAI is at K9 dongs 26 cents, you only get a 4x. Yep. People love certainty. They love certainty. People hate uncertainty, but uncertainty means opportunity. Okay. So that's where we are today. And We'll play some Guts lo-fi music. Nvidia and HEX. Shout out to Mexico, World Cup, and the Peacock. So LibertySwap, of course, does a buy and burn with all the Peacock. Hopefully that does a big pumperoonies. Legend of the Light, Sun Evian Galaxy. You are a gentle friend. Mr. Galaxy here, 10,000 to 1 million entrepreneurs. $2 freaking doonies. Thank you so much for the future 2 pDAI. Thank you so much, sir. UFO Nut. I've seen you around. Why aren't you a mod yet, sir? That's actually very racist. UFO Nut. Confession. I bought that 8 sleep mattress a few years ago when Pump was shilling it. Did you? That's amazing. Back when he was doing the crypto YouTube show. I don't even plug it in anymore. Wow. Wow. You actually bought the mattress. How far we've come, sir. How far we've come. Mattresses are good. Good for a straight back, you know. A straighter posture every day keeps the dentist away. Paul David. How many net new users? He asked previously how to do PulseChain 10,000x. You do the square root of that, okay? Which would be 100. You got 100x to user base. That's also why for Bitcoin to do a 10x from here, you know, Bitcoin's got, I think, 600 million people holding it. So for Bitcoin to do about a 10x, you've got to about do a 3.3 times 600 million people. So you've got to go from 600 million people to 2.4 billion of the world. Yeah, you got to add 1.8 billion people, man. You see what I mean? That's why in altcoins, it's really risky, but like, we don't have to add 1 billion people, man. We don't. We don't. But that's what makes it also tough, right? Because you're fighting all these network effects and everyone out here. DocsBet. People are so hard to convince when it comes to taking risk before more info comes in. Absolutely true, sir. Absolutely true. You got to remember as well, look, people learn, right? So people remember I and you were happy and confident when Trump victory came in, and then we went to zero. You know, went to literal zero. So people remember that, and they're like, oh, last time you were happy, it was a top signal. That they remember that. So then they don't want to take the punt. But that's logic talking, okay? Logic comes when you have low prices. When it's up here and Richard Hart posts a pDAI chart, they're back in again. But what you'll find is people will find 10 times more capital than before and they will throw it in. Yeah, the market's actually, it's amazing how it works. You would never think it works like that unless you got to see it play out all the time in crypto. Benji, we need to control the cross-border money transfer market. I agree, sir. I agree. Hopefully crypto helps that as well. Perpetual Bitcoin. We did 220% with 130 holders and paid 130K to the holders. Very interesting. Yeah, so everyone's got these holders. They try to check the address count on the chain. Benji, we love risk. PulseChain does not use condoms. Sir, you're going to get a moderator status for that comment. Anonymous, the pDAI FOMO will be wild. Yeah, isn't it wild? I feel like I'm like talking about the roadmap and like no one's listening. That's the funniest part. The funniest part is if this happens, like I've just dictated all of it, you know, but no one's listening. No one's listening, you know. That's why if you ever see anything down a lot, friends, look into it, dude. That's why I saw Corridanzo. Isn't it, friends? Isn't it funny? Ivan, Sheet Your Larson, every Bitcoin Maxi, Ben Copen, every single person saying Cardanzo is a scam. Cardanzo will never go up. Cardanzo, Charles Huskinson, Cardanzo, 1,000 BTC missing. Cardanzo, no. And I've just said, that's weird. I just saw 50 people who don't know what the fork is going on, but pretend like they do, FUD Cardanzo. 50. And not a single one of them said buy the dip. And it's the cheapest it's ever been. Very interesting. So you just got to think like that, friends. Because you can't just think, oh, let's go the opposite side of the crowd. Just sometimes you just catch yourself. That's why I thought, that's weird. No one's told me to buy. You know? That doesn't mean step in, friends. It doesn't mean step in, okay? It just means start thinking that way sometimes, all right? Because when everything's gone to zero, you don't get people telling you to buy. Dip trips. Bitcoin is not going past 70K anytime soon. Soy Lana is not getting past $70. They are making every major coin a stable coin, so we can't farm the volatility. They just farm us. Just something to tell you, sir. Stocks. Okay, stocks, my friend. When stocks top out, they top out on low volatility. And then when they dip, they have very high volatility. Okay. And then they go up again and they slow down. That's stocks. Okay. Crypto does the opposite. Crypto volatility is at the highs. And then at the lows, it goes like this. Okay. This is the bottom. It's like a commodity. And then it goes up again like that. All right. So low volume, low volatility, they are commodity attributes. That's what crypto is doing right now. So it's not necessarily a market maker's doing anything vibe. It's basically no one in the market wants to hit market to buy. That's pretty much what it is. And you can see actually, right, you can see on the bottom, the volume dies out a lot. You know, even look at 2022, look how small the candles got right here. See this? See how small the candles were? You can see in the bottom, see very small candles right there, dead. Just Morse go, and boom, it starts going up, right? And that's pretty much what it looks like. So we're having small candles here. But yeah, we're just drawing squiggly lines. Clintron, Sommi, great video yesterday about Khazaria. Have you been watching Chuck Swindle's Khazarian Mafia videos? Does he have more? I watched Chuck on Polarity Josh. It was like a 1.5 hour segment. Yeah, I did watch it. I enjoyed it. Those damn Khazarians. Ah! So Chuck's father was a pastor. And Chuck, I guess he didn't want to be part of the church. So he's gone his own like spiritual way. And he's researched everything and everything I talked about Khazaria. I learned it off him. Yeah, but it's just, crypto's taught me a lot, man. Crypto's taught me, friends, that it's good to have self-confidence, but we're just always wrong, man. Humans, when we have to make a decision based on what we think, we're always wrong. Have you noticed that? We're just always wrong. And like that's why I question sometimes. I'm like, well, I've got some people here coming out saying the power is within you. You don't need anybody else. Close your eyes, manifest. The power is within you. Like when I was younger, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, reject the system. But now I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Humans, we're trash, dude. Every time we make a decision and we think we know what we're doing, we screw it up every time. So how can we think you got that figured out? What if you're just mogging yourself? So, but it was wonderful to go through and learn all about that. And just as a history lesson for everyone, just very quickly, friends, most Jewish people today, they're not actually like really genetically Jewish. So Khazaria is where Ukraine is right now. They chose the Abrahamic religion of Judaism. They could have chosen Christianity or Islam, and they just kept Baal worshipping. That's our child family. That's a lot of the people in government, all the demons and all the other fallen angels and everything else pretty much keeping us within the system, non-human intelligence. So that's where we get to where we are today. Hence, it's an Israel SuperCycle, baby. Yeehaw. Let's go. Thank you so much. DocsBet. It's like in trading. The best trades are taken when information risk is the highest. Once more information comes in, you're taking the price risk. Yes, 100%. 100%. That's why, look, it's such a good example, right? Friends, even with pDAI, right? If you're buying here, you're not even betting on a peg. Yeah. You're just betting that, I guess, Ethereum will go up, Richard's coins go up, and people keep liking the coin. It's got nothing to do with the peg or collateral. People just have to think that this thing looks good. And it might go to like 5 cents. All right. So I want you to think about this. You're not even betting on a peg if you buy here. You get the luxury of dumping 25x higher on everyone. Yeah, but you're taking on more risk. Yeah. See, if you're buying pDAI at K9 Dong's price of 26 cents, you like the peg better happen. You're only going to get a 4x upside. You may as well take a trade at that point. But you know what I mean? Like you better have a lot of information on that. So there's different parts that people are comfortable with. Of course, if you want the highest return, you got to take on the most amount of risk, which is very, very hard because information travels very fast, right? So how do you find out something that other people can't see? It's very, very, very hard. Very hard. That's why it's case by case basis. There is no formula. That's why I've told you, like, you know, Richard Hart publicly fudding Twitter. That's what the market is reading. The market is reading Richard Hart publicly fudding on Twitter, saying pDAI, stupid coin. pDAI, cancer. pDAI, not worth talking about. Oopsies, you're an unbacked stupid coin. No one's going to peg you, little pDAI. That's what the Twitter is saying. But then you're like, wait a minute. Didn't we sacrifice for free speech? Didn't Richard Hart tweet in 2023 that blockchain code is speech, which he did? You go, I wonder what's on the blockchain. And then now we see NineIronCapital and my Spoony Alpha videos. And you see all these protocols are pointing to 1D0F pDAI. Okay? Do you see that? So that's why the information asymmetry exists. Because the world has never seen conflicting messages between someone's public Twitter notice board and the blockchain. No one's ever seen that before. Here are some fluffy slippers. You see that? That's why if they put a documentary one day and we don't go to zero for the third time and we work, that's the answer. That's the information asymmetry. The market, no, it's a zero event case. Zero, right? But it's helped, right? The guy actually said, hey, did you know blockchain is speech? Did you know publishing free open source software, code, and mathematics on the internet is speech and a human right? Richard Hart said that. It's in the SEC court documents. Yeah, see what I mean? So now you get to see why you're filtering for people who really understand the tech and believe, okay? By the way, it could be cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. I don't know. Just like buying Bitcoin at $1. You've seen a bunch of Mexican cartel people chopping people's heads off and using Bitcoin to launder money. And like here you are saying, fix the money, fix the world. We're going to flip gold. You would have sounded like a nutcase then too. So there you go, friends. Information asymmetry. It's as simple as that. Okay? Public Twitter, FUDs. The blockchain supports. Public Twitter, FUDs. The blockchain supports. Who's right? Well, who's right? That's why as the price action curls upwards, right, it's almost telling you, well, you better take a punt. So that's why I'm telling you, you never know who's right or wrong. But give yourself a probability of being right or wrong. So if you have the Richard Hart's public Twitter on one hand, and then you have the blockchain, PulseChain, okay? You don't know who's right or wrong. You have to give them odds. What are your odds? Right? By the way, if you say 50-50, you think pDAI should be 50 cents right now. So you saying it's 270x mispriced if it's 50-50. If you say there's a 10% chance that the blockchain is the real message here, what you're saying is pDAI is underpriced by, let's check it out, a 57x. Isn't it great to be early if you're early? Isn't it great? If you just need one home run, man. One home run. Okay? So once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you're looking at everyone. That's why everyone says, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And I'm like, okay, bro, give yourself odds that you're right or wrong. Okay? What's your odds that you're right? Friends, if you ask the average person, they say, I am 99% chance correct. I'm like, bro, just shut up, dude. When are you 99% sure of anything? You don't even know if it's going to rain tomorrow or not. You're telling me there's a 99% chance that all these other people are yelling for no reason? By the way, you know, let me tell you something. You know, if you think there's a 99% chance you're right, pDAI is still mispriced. Yeah. Because if you think you're 99% chance correct, you think the fair value is 1 cent, which means it is still mispriced by 500% returns. That's a 6x. There you go. There you go. That's why it's exciting now, okay? But if pDAI is 20 cents, I'm like, well, you know, it's like it's really got a peg now. You know, because why are you going to buy it at 20 cents? You have to have more information. I appreciate you, friends. Art Suave with Real Alpha. I'm 99% sure that we are all friends. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yvonne on check. I like that. Reggie, that is a good nickname. Yvonne, as in Yvonne. Wow. So it's Yvonne. You guys thought I was saying Yvonne. Yvonne is, I think the Eastern, the is it the Russian or Eastern European version of saying John? So Ivan is John. It's just, like John. But you thought I was saying Yvonne, as in the girl's name Yvonne. So you're going to get a moderator. Wow, I did not know. That's awesome. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man, we make the best nicknames here, friends. They go around. Greg, your comment got deleted. Let's check the soy. Bro, you are wasting your life with Pulse Eco and the Richard Horrocks crap. So what are you in, Greg? Crap content. What are you in, Greg? I'd like to know. What coins are you in? What ecosystem are you in? Okay, I want to know what you are in, sir. Because I want to see what they are. I like fruits. I bet our pump comes before the end of the fire horsey. I hope so. I really hope so. DocsPet said, amazing content. You're amazing friends. You will get also some nice Habibi music. Everyone talking about sharpened spoons in here. So, friends, to catch everyone up, we have had a hostage situation. Conrad Zen is threatening Richard Hart, saying, I'll do it. I'll sell the 1 billion PHEX. But the liquidity is really, 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 really low. So he's actually like, friends, we're not trapped. Conrad's trapped. You're the one who had $1 billion and now you're threatening to let go of it. So you're threatening to give away your billion PHEX to everyone else. But like, we never saw it at 50 cents. You have that memory. You are scarred. You have the PTSD. We're just a bunch of copers. so like, it's not actually a hostage situation. Okay, friends, friends, have you ever seen in the movies where they've got a hostage? Okay, who can take us hostage? Okay, we'll take Psyduck as hostage. You go, I'll shoot him. Okay, and then what happens is usually the freak, okay, the cracky, he'll push the hostage out, and then the guy goes, I'll do it. He just turns the gun on himself. That's what Conrad's doing. I'll do it. So that is exactly what's happening. Like, I'll sell my $1 billion of future money for 6 cents. I'll do it. He's just, oh man. Man, can we get one fun story and stream where we're laughing? Friends, the last time we had a green candle was July 2025. Can you believe we've been going down for literally, it's been 11 months, going to be 12 months. Please, Michael Saylor, don't blow up the Ponzi, bro. Please don't blow up the Ponzi. That's why Kudson and everyone's saying, this is Conrad's jump. It's the jump. He's like, I'll do it. I'll jump. UFO nut 2026 year of the dead donkey. Sure feels like that, sir. Mad B. When pDAI pegs, how do we all cash out millions at the same time? Okay. Let me tell you a secret. Okay. It's not a secret because I've told you this 300,000 times, but still no one wants to listen. Okay. I know you guys would love to sell at $1. Okay, I know you all love to sell at $1, but I'm not sure you're going to hold to $1. I'm not sure. I hope you do, but I'm not sure. So if I was a pioneer, I will give you an option to sell at 1 cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, 30 cents, and each part along the way, there will be more people hopping off the train. Okay, that's what I think would happen. Okay, and whoever makes it to the end, good luck, because it's probably going to. But I have, you know what? I had a I've said this many times. For some reason, this is what I actually think is going to happen. I've got to get the chart back. I was a bit racist. One of my Prophet Ezekiel visions, where it's just me seeing shadow people. I always believe that if pDAI got to like near $1 and everyone thinks it's happening, I had a feeling it'll go like 99 cents and then just drop 50% like that. And this is what it's going to look like on the chart. You just do that and everyone thinks it's over. My gosh, that'll be so scary. Yeah, that's what I think. For some reason, we'll just do this. And this is the last chance for everyone to get out. And then it'll just do that. And okay, here's the peg. Yeah. I always imagine this is what's going to do. The peg is going to look real sure, and all the YouTubers and everyone's going to think, oh, Richard's going to give me money. And they're going to be selling right here. Right? Like the ultimate final boss. Okay. That might even be, friends, NineIronCapital comes out and he says, haha, it's me, Eric Wall. I have been manipulating you the whole time. Look at my rainbow-colored fingernails. It's not Pride Month, baby. It's Pride Year. And then everyone will be like, ah! Some sort of massive giga-FUD event, right? You know, and then everyone's going to call for me to go to jail again. I'm like, bro, you're on site like 300x. Why am I going to jail? And then it probably happened. Now, I hope it doesn't happen like that. I want to just peg, but I do imagine that. That'll make history. You want to know why? Because, you know, friends, the most effective marketing is you get everyone's attention, send it to zero, because everyone wants to see it die, and then you buy it back up and do the run-up. Okay, that's happened so many times in crypto. That's actually very, very, very effective. Because, you want to know why? I'll tell you now. Alpha, so you don't mess it up. And I don't mess it up, all right? On the run-up, there are going to be haters who missed it, okay? They're going to be haters, they missed it. And they're going to be jealous. And they would love nothing more than to see you fail. So when this happens, they're all going to do the screenshot on Twitter. And they're going to be like, well, you bought the unbacked Ponzi stablecoin on Richard Hart's chain. Smells like another scam victim. And they will be screenshotting this every day. Crypto banter, Ivan saying, I told you. Ah! And what they don't know is they have just shilled the coin to an extra 5 million people, right? Because what's going to happen is this is going to happen. Okay, and every time it pops up, there's going to be the crowd watching and watching and watching and watching, okay? And then you do that. So that is super, super, super effective. And believe it or not, friends, that's actually early Bitcoin charts, okay? That's the big, it goes up, down to zero, and then it walks back up. It's actually, it's giant. It sucks everyone in. Hope you see that. You get the euphoria, then all the haters. Because friends, you know, on the way up, for example, you know, if pDAI does this, you know, all the haters, friends, they're not showing the chart. They're not showing the chart. You know, friends, you know, the haters, they never show the HEX chart. You know who knows that? Richard Hart. Yeah, Richard Hart. I'm sure someone like Richard Hart, he made a comment like they never showed the chart on the way up. It's only on the way down. You see this? Friends, everyone hated Richard Hart. No one showed this chart. No one. Only Richard Hart showed this chart. Do you want to know when they showed the chart? When that happened. Okay, after this happens, they showed the chart. So I wonder if you can use that to your advantage. That's why I wonder if on the way up, you trick them. Okay, literally on the way up, you trick them, friends. Well, here's Richard. Hello, I am a sandwich shop connoisseur. Well, on the way up, they're not going to post it. And then this happens. All right. And then they start posting about it. And then you've just added more people to buy on the way up. No? So if you're talking about maximum adoption, maximum pDAI, maximum counter signal, maximum taking over crypto, there you go. That's the Hollywood movie. Not financial advice, friends. It went to zero twice. I don't know anything. Someone said KatieeP. Where is she? Oh my gosh, PulseChain said it. KatieeP is actually NineIronCapital. I wouldn't be surprised. She's a very smart girl. Man, oh, everyone's gone. I bet he's all watching me. Hello? Can you come and help, please? I'm just constantly getting spit on by everyone. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's funny. It's funny. You know, friends, I've noticed people love me more because we always have this convo. They're like, bro, hey, how are you making money? Crypto's been going down. Are you rugging everyone? I'm like, bro, I've been losing with you for 5 years. And they're like, well, how are you smiling? Go, what else we got? What else we got? You understand? What else do we have? Except the hope that we get a green candle. What else is there left? And they go, oh, you're right. You're right. Water Robbie, you posted a spoony emoji with an ice cream, making me very hungry. You will become a moderator for that high alpha. Reggie, do we peg soon or spoon the peg? Do we peg the spoon or spoon the peg? Very good question, sir. Do we peg the spoon? One day. One day we'll make it out of this hellhole, friends. One day, okay? Just make it. Oh, man. I don't know. I can't believe we just started this nipple pegging thing. It's interesting that we learn about governments and pegs and how these currencies work. Like, we've got to learn about it because we, in crypto, the ethos, we made our own currencies, but they're too volatile. The rest of the world doesn't want to adopt them. They go, no, 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 you're way too volatile. So now we're like, okay, we'll just give you your dog shit inflationary stablecoins. And then that's what we're doing. And we're like, okay, market, you don't want to touch our scarce assets because they're too volatile. Take your stablecoin and get inflated every year. And they're going to do that. Reggie, I thought you missed it, bro. Appreciate you, sir. Sommi of spoons. Is it wrong that I want Big Mick Saylor to do a grayscale? The thing is, sir, be careful what you wish for. All right, because you just don't know. Yeah, he's a nutcase. He's a nutcase. But you know, it'd be better if we liquidate him now. I just don't think he is. We're gonna liquidate him now. I think we have to trap the whole world into him even more because everyone's saying Ponzi right now, so it's safe. It's actually quite safe. All right. Year of the Failed Horse from Alex. That's true, sir. Hopefully, hopefully this fire horse does something. Okay. I'm gonna have to kick in the boom. I appreciate you. Yvonne, the French elderly women. Is that in a corner, sir? Super Snake. Sommi, do you think Zen could ever make a comeback? Friends, I've got to tell you something, and I don't care if they're watching. Part of, you know, Sir Nathan, Sir Nathan, okay, who discovered that I am a glitched part of the Matrix code and I'm a lizard. Part of Sir Nathan's conspiracy is that Jack Levine is in PulseChain and he's deep. Okay. Now, as we remember, I told you me and Sir Nathan had 3-hour phone calls. Yeah, he was sending me some stuff and it was like I was uncovering the Matrix and my brain was like, oh my gosh. And he was finding connections potentially with like CZ, Vitalik. And that's my friends. I was eating my boiled eggs. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like you're seeing the Matrix code. Like everything is a conspiracy. But it would make sense because everyone who goes public, they shoot down. They took CZ to jail, etc. So it makes sense they will do that. It's just that when he said Jack Levine and Zen, that's one of the reasons why he just couldn't take it anymore. No. Oh man, it was funny. It is funny. I hope there is a conspiracy and they're all working together secretly and they're just watching me. Because I'm a representation of us, the people. You know, friends, I bet sometimes I ask on like alt accounts, like, hey, what do you really know? I'm like, really know? Bro, if I knew anything, do you think I'd be here for 5 years? I would have bought potatoes last month and retired. So we don't know anything. It's just, it's funny. We're all having time. But they always have to check the market. Check. What do you really know? Dude, it's an Israel SuperCycle. That's pretty much as far as it goes for here. The fire horse has cooked himself, Alex says. Super Snake, no effing way. Jack Levine, a PulseChain insider. Pioneer, lols, love it. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why Sir Nathan was collecting some stuff. And that's why my hat was spinning, was like, oh my gosh. But then he took it a step further. He goes, they're all connected to Elon, and Elon has an AI reading all our messages, and it's beaming messages in our brain. Okay? So he got closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, I don't know about the beaming messages in our brain part, you know? But then again, I know it's like a UFO conspiracy SuperCycle, but like, do you see how he connected too many pieces? That's what happens, right? Oh, man. Moat. Nate, so sad. Had so much fun with him in the pDAI conference. We were having fun. I worry about him now. Yeah, me too, man. I worry about him because like I feel like someone who he discovered the Ark of the Covenant and he's like looked at it. Like, he deserves to benefit from that. It's like Indiana Jones, okay? You go down the pyramid, you slide down, you find Tutankhamun's golden butt plug with a golden cherub or something, and then you're like, wow, this is amazing. Like, you deserve to get wealthy from that. Instead, he's like, no, Satan everywhere. No! Also, Nate, if you're watching, sir, Nate does pop in the stream from time to time. Nate, if you're watching, Satan's number, 66%, was the mark of the beast top on the Bitcoin dominance. it topped out exactly 66%, okay? So Bitcoin is actually the pedo fillet coin now. Check it out. Broke Jake. This shit ain't that deep. 99% of people have no clue what PulseChain is. No one cares, bro. Broke Jake. So the first part of your name is broke. If you were rich, Jake, take it seriously, but I'm just joking. Okay. You gotta understand, sir. If you want to make money, you can't make money when everyone knows about the chain, when everyone knows about the thing. All right. You have to look for places where no one's looking. And then maybe you'll find the gem in there. No guarantees, maybe. That's where we are right now. PulseChain, aren't they? The golden ButtPlug. God, me, that's funny. Yeah, I do imagine Indiana Jones scrolling down there. Yeah. One day I'm sure we make a very funny, good AI comic cartoon using that. Also, yeah, so Mr. Project, that is it's a common trope with crypto. So it helps us be bullish because everyone's default is, oh, let me follow what everyone else is doing because that makes the most sense. But it doesn't work like that, okay? It's a game, okay? You have to be aware of what everyone else is doing. If everyone knows about something, they are the market. That means it's priced in, okay? You have to have extra information. No one's going to give it to you, so you have to find it. But you don't know what you're looking for. That's why the game's hard. That's why I've told you, like with pDAI, stupid coin, there are messages from Richard Hart's public Twitter that FUDs it, and then there's messages on the chain which supports it, okay? So you got to attribute, what odds do you give to the chain being correct? Even if you say it's 5% chance, right? You are saying that pDAI is underpriced by 29x. But I'm giving you literally the unicorn winner of everything, okay? Other people look for advantages where they're like, oh, I know the Clarity Act is going to allow JP Morgan to buy an extra $800 million of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin could be $80,000 in 3 months. Do you see what I mean? Like Bitcoin from 63 to 80, what is that? Like a 25% gain? Compare 25% to 2,800%. You know what I mean? So, but that's Bitcoin because everyone knows about it. How much extra informational edge can you get? But then again, Bitcoin's not going to 0 in 2 seconds. You know, I hope so. So it's a different risk reward metric. The poorer you are and the less capital you have, if you want to accelerate, you got to take on more risk. Okay. But not everyone wants to play that game. So what people actually unfortunately do is they take all of their life savings and they go bet on high certainty things because they want a high win rate. That's why it gets very dangerous if you're in Michael Saylor's stretch, for example. That's how people end up in hot water. A hot bubble bath, hopefully for the rest of us. Benji, we need Sommi with a huge chiseled bro chacho beard. Maybe one day, sir. Maybe one day I'll be able to hide a few pegs in here. Anonymous, bro, 2.5 hours live. I know, we have a hostage situation. So, Conrad fans, do you think he's going to dump? What do you think he's going to do? Okay, he's come out, got 980 million HEX. He believed at the start. He's like, I'll sell it. It's a hostage situation, I'll sell it. That's PulseChain, by the way. Friends, if he does dump, everyone just buys. Okay, he literally can't do anything. But I'll be honest, there is one thing that he has to accept. He doesn't own any pDAI. Is there a price pDAI goes up towards that makes him FOMO in? I wonder. Do you know, friends, pDAI's got very thin liquidity. So even if Conrad wanted to get in, he can't. He has to FUD it. Yeah. That's why Richard Hart's thin liquidity is a feature, not a bug. Are you listening? Brandon B and everyone else? Richard Hart, Conman, Richard Hart, comment. No, bro. No. I'm in. I don't want you to get in, dude. I don't want anybody to leave a massive, thick pDAI offer for you plebs to come and buy in for free. No. It's got thin liquidity. You guys want to get back in, you're going to have to sweep the price like everyone else. That's exactly what I want. Also, I'm holding PulseChain Core coins. I don't want Richard Hart to put in $300 million on a bid so Conrad Zen can go, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and just take the bid and run away. I don't want that. Leave it at $100,000. Let him slip himself to zero. I want that. Okay? You want that too. It's a lot of short-term pain, hopefully long-term gain. I love and appreciate every single one of you, friends. Hex Down Under, Hex Wizard. You know things we don't, sir. Oh, he's back. Mr. Hex Wizard. Mr. Hex Wizard, just sell it, Conrad. Get the fork out. with a right hand emoji. Okay? Mr. Conrad trying to take everybody hostage. He's running out of time, friends. He's 70 years old. How much time he got left? Okay? You know? How much time do you really have left? Man, how do we end up in this situation, dude? Richard Hart makes this guy a billionaire on paper. And now he's... he's just... look, man. Conrad, let me put it to you in a way you might understand, okay? Have you ever seen a bunch of homeless bums who are addicted to crackles under a bridge? You have, okay. Do you think you could threaten them by saying, hey, move out of this footpath? You're going to get wet if it rains. You get dirty and muddy. We're crackies, dude. Do you understand? That's what you're basically saying. Hey. You're going to get wet. A bit more pain. Bro, it's been going down for 5 years. You think we're scared of another, like, 5 hours, 5 days? We don't give a damn. So it doesn't work now. Okay? You only get the pain if you get rewarded first. Okay? We never got rewarded first. He got rewarded first. He had $1 billion on paper. He had $1 billion. Now it's down to 3 million. Okay? You had $1 billion, 3 million. $1 billion, 3 million. He's lost 997 million in his mind. Okay? You and I, we've got about 12 cents. Okay? So we're like, oh, well, I'll just go back to being poor. so we got nothing to lose. He's got everything to lose. So it's not a hostage situation where he's got a hostage. He's not holding Pikachu hostage. He's got the gun to his head. I'll do it. Like, subscribe, belly button, all friends. Catch you in the next one.